Hello, little fishies, and welcome to another Bunchcast. Today, we're going to be talking about a couple of major subjects. We're going to be talking about Nintendo, and we're going to be talking about Devil May Cry. Devil May Cry, for those who aren't initiated, is a action. It's like an action hack and slash game that came and originate from the PS2 era and marched through the 7th gen and all the way to present day with Devil May Cry 5. It had like a weird 11-year hiatus where it just sort of went radio silent for a bit, which kind of sad that it took that so long for them to make another game, but they eventually got around to it. And as left,
They did it right.
they did do it right. Like Devil May Cry 5 is solid. If that's 11 years is what it takes to make a solid game, then it's going to be Devil May Cry 6 is going to be amazing. So, the big thing is Devil May Cry got an anime adaptation, but well, that initially sounds interesting because it has gotten anime adaptations in the past and manga and books. It got a anime adaptation from Netflix, and so with that, I know you're immediately all thinking what I'm thinking. You're asking how woke is it, and how bad is it? Well, the only thing I can safely say when Artemis and I looked at this is that this is on the level of the Halo TV show. How bad it is. Like, it is that bad. Somebody wanted to tell a story, didn't have the competency to tell their story, and hijacked Devil May Cry to tell their story instead. And that's how bad it is. It's like, because the Halo TV show is like a weird Mass Effect story kind of fanfic. This is like Bush era Iraq invasion, like anti-white Christian propaganda. That's what this is.
The stream hasn't started for me.
It's live right now. Chatfish right there.
It's live for me.
You might be looking at the backup stream.
Oh, that probably is what's going on.
Yep, because I set up backup streams.
There it goes.
Because OBS hasn't crashed in a while, and I don't feel like dealing with the bullshit.
There you
Feeling-
It's only a matter of time.
So I've got 2 double backup streams today for each stream.
Double the trouble.
Double trouble. But yeah, so that's the big thing. It started right now. Yeah, because I'm reading chat just paranoid now. Like, are we live? Chatfish, hello. Chatfish, like, whoa.
I mean, they're already reacting to what was being said.
Good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's this. And they unironically, like, this is a great post from G Warning 89 here. He says they unironically made it all about evil Americans invading hell and killing the poor innocent demons, and then Green Day music starts playing. And I watched this actual scene, and yes, unironically, don't want to be an American idiot. Like, that starts playing right there where these Harriers go and bomb stuff. Also, this scene is missing something. The Twin Towers are in this, if I remember right, in the background.
It's 2003, isn't it?
Yep. Well, no, they shouldn't be up because they went down in 2001.
Yeah.
Which is weird
But
because
I think it's set in 2003.
in the background you can see the Twin Towers, if I remember right, in one of them. One of the shots.
Yeah. One of the images shots. Yeah, you can see the Twin Towers.
Like, they're in the backgrounds, and it's like, what the fuck? And yeah, so like a portal opens up near New York, and basically they send in a massive full-scale invasion of the demon world. But instead of the demons being portrayed as demons from Devil May Cry, because Devil May Cry demons, they can't cry. They don't feel pity or remorse, and they absolutely will not stop until they milk you of all your blood. Because that's their fuel. But the interesting thing is here, right off the bat, the demons are actually Arab Muslims. So in the Netflix TV show, and yeah, they are, like, the way they're dressed, like Arabic Muslims is what the demons are in
With
these
goat
shots.
features.
With goat-like details, which aren't even the
Weird.
demons from the fucking actual fucking, like, game whatsoever. Here's a bunch of white Americans colonizing hell, because of course they are, because of course. Oh my god. What am I...
It's free real estate, Gibbs.
It just...
I really enjoyed
they're doing a
kit that they have
selfie.
on.
Like, they have a gas mask helmet thing on,
Yeah.
gloves, exposed arms, rolled up sleeves.
In the area of the fires of hell. Yes.
This is retarded. This is retarded.
I am under the impression the United States did nothing wrong except not kill everybody.
Yeah, they should have rolled that thing over those little
Yeah,
demons.
look, he's clearly saving those kids. They were about to get run over.
But yeah, so basically, white man bad, Christian man bad, all Christians are bad because the demon world is actually just misunderstood, and humans have been blaming them since the beginning of time because they're scared of what's different than them.
Even though like Sparta exists, and we know what Sparta did. So, yeah, no, I 100%. So if you bring up the White Rabbit, like
Oh god,
thing,
we have so many fucking things. It wasn't that one. It wasn't this one. It's not that one.
it's probably one of the last ones you find that I posted.
I tried to open them all in order. I'm gonna move the Nintendo ones back. Here we go.
That's not it.
It's not the full thing. There it is. All right,
Yeah.
so here we'll watch this clip. Here,
Mhm.
listen to what the rabbit says, chat.
Stealing common stones for a mere 2.5 million. When there's something right in front of you that is beyond earthly value.
Wait, how do you know the price we were offered?
I was the one who offered. The Force Edge, sword of the demon knight Sparta. Ironic, isn't it, that such a holy place would house the most powerful weapon of hell? Then again, hell, as you call it, has always been the true heart of human religion. You can curb the worst of your savageries only through collective fear and hatred of another world. My world.
That line right there. Only through collective fear and hatred of another world. When he talks about his world, basically. And it's that demons are misunderstood because humans are actually worse and more evil than demons, according to this TV show. That's retarded.
Kamzar says his membership is going to get ignored, Kibbs.
Oh no, you
Yes, he
clippable
said-
things to get me banned by. Kibbs,
Nope.
I quote, "It's not realistic. Muslims are worse than demons." Clippable quote of the day. Clippable. Chat, maybe pay me money to say that. Maybe pay me big bucks. Maybe pay me money to say.
Yeah.
That's
you gotta
it's
be watchful,
clippable.
Chad, because this is a topic that
Yes.
YouTube's still
Sensitive. Yeah, so watch your tone and pay me lots of money. And you owe me likes for that at least. So get sucking. That's what you're going to be doing for the rest of the day. Now, do you know?
so Chad.
There's a where.
That quote that you're only able to curb your savagery with the collective hate and fear of another world, my world. That is the entire premise for why this series was made. Not because it was a Devil May Cry series, but because the fucking background of the developer or creator is anti-American.
Yep. Isn't he American born too?
I haven't looked that far in.
It's usually how it
But-
goes.
The fact that yeah,
I gotta find where he is again. I think he's at the beginning.
yeah, probably.
What was that? Where was the quote from him himself?
Oh no, it's under the Sparta thing. The multi image of the Sparta. You're not looking at the right one.
Oh, where
Keep
was
going
it?
over until you find it. Keep going. I'll let you know when to stop.
There it is. Yep, there. This is him, by the way. I'm gonna read a quote from the creator himself, not the actual creator of Devil May Cry, because I'm sure they are disgusted with this person. Adi Shankar, what a terrible name. I operate under two distinct creative banners. Bootleg universe, where I remix and reinterpret and intentionally take bold liberties and subvert existing IPs. The fact that he has that as an ethos should, like, this man should be actively basically pushed out of this field entirely. Like, he should be blacklisted. And the second, Adi Shankar. He uses Adi Shankar. Adi Shankar. Wow, the narcissism. Animation, where I play things straight, honoring the source material's core essence. Captain Laserhawk was developed under Bootleg Universe. The entire series was designed as a pastiche, a commentary that no one cares about, on the toy commercials and pop culture saturation I grew up with. Every character reinterpretation, including Peg and Min, was deliberate and served that remix ethos. So, he's incompetent, is what he just basically admitted to. By contrast, Devil May Cry falls under Adi Shankar animation, where fidelity to the original spirit of the IP guides every creative decision. That's a lie. The Adi Shankar animation philosophy ethos thing that he just talked about there, which doesn't exist, and also he's just a fucking blithering retard, that's just not real. That doesn't exist. He doesn't do that. He just does the bootleg stuff. Or what he claims is bootleg. He is a parasitical leech. He is incapable of launching his own IP to tell his own stories because he's incompetent, talentless, and a piece of shit. Not only is he all of those things, but in order to get his shit idea from his worthless mind off the ground, he has to hijack someone else's work. He has to take somebody else's thing. So what does he do? He takes Devil May Cry, an IP that doesn't belong to him, and pisses all over it. That's what these people do. The guy was born... nice, Chatfish. Thank you, signing this.
I have the Wikipedia page.
You found it. The guy was born in Kolkata, West Bengal, India. So ship products shouldn't be a surprise. Chatfish, you're gonna get me destroyed. Stop it. Oh my god. But yeah, no, this is fucking rancid. Absolutely rancid. This person should be kicked out. People should go and contact his publishers and stuff like that and reach out to them and complain. And like be like, hey, this is a fucking deplorable thing that this guy did. Like, people should complain. People should complain and be vocal. I think if you don't like it, you should probably write and let them know how you feel. Because this is terrible. This person here is terrible. Oh my god. Just reading that is just rancid.
So he's best known for producing the Dread, the Castlevania animated Netflix series, the Bootleg Universe stuff, Guardians of Justice, Captain Laserhawk, a Blood Dragon remix, and now Devil May Cry.
Isn't he like bad at all of those? Weren't all of those things you just said bad?
He's an Indian American. Well, Dread was the remake of Judge Dredd, the good one.
He did that?
Apparently he was
involved.
I'm seeing very little information besides I mentioned here where he was an executive producer, and he said that a sequel's unlikely. Even though Urban, who apparently wanted to do a sequel.
He did do Dread, and that was the last time that they did it.
Oh my god. What happened to him?
It seems like he shut down the idea of a sequel to that.
Hold up.
Well,
but the thing is that
it flopped.
But the director was Pete Travis.
Yeah.
He was a producer, is what it's.
So he's
no,
not,
yeah,
he's
never
not,
mind.
He's not creative. Yeah, he doesn't get the credit for that.
Yes, you gotta make sure you actually read that. So the big thing is that, yeah, because he doesn't have a creative bone in his body. Because at first I was like, this is contradictory. Those aren't the same people. And of course, they're not the same people. And of course, he shot down Judge Dredd. Honestly, it makes sense. It makes absolute sense. Oh, the guy's a little quiet? Okay, I shall tweak them a little bit. Go ahead and speak, Chumba.
Hello, Todd donates $5.
Wow, you are tired. What the fuck?
Hello, Bickering Bunch. I guess DMC shows that all cultures are equal. Hashtag make hell great again. Also breed Kibbs, boot Bucky, dull rapier.
I'll boot you. He's like, bonk.
So here's the issue, Kibbs. He wrote Castlevania, the one where they literally rape.
Yep.
Fucking
There's a rape scene with
Dracula.
Alucard. Not
Or sorry, Alucard.
No,
yeah,
Alucard
you're right.
Oh,
gets
the,
raped,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
the Netflix Castlevania, the
Yep.
the literal bastardization. So he's
Yes.
already proven to be a talentless piece of shit. Gotcha. And then he shoots down the one thing that could have potential. Now, Judge Dredd being shot down there's a bit more to it than that, Choomba. He isn't powerful
I
enough
know.
to actually stop that. The big problem was it didn't do well. And then later did well, but by then it didn't matter because it needed to make X amount of money in a certain time frame.
When I was reading the Wikipedia, it's basically saying Urban wanted to do a sequel, saying that there is potential, there is a fan base for this, and apparently he was the only one who really wanted to.
Now moving on. So, this is another fucking thing. Oh my god. Honor the source material. This is fucking cringe, by the way. He was a demon knight. Whatever that means. Big bad warrior. Blah blah blah. 2,000 years ago, when our world was still connected to their shithole, and Mundus wasn't happy just ruling the shithole, and I guess Sparta woke up one day and realized, hey, this is evil as fuck. He fought against Mundus, taking out hundreds of his own former legions. Kind of the least he could fucking do, really. What the fuck?
This is supposed to be the chick from fucking Devil May Cry 2, right?
I just, like, the way it delivery is just like, they don't care. Like, it's like...
They
the,
made
really
her a
don't.
millennial woman.
And
Like
you
one of
have
the Valley
more
Girls.
donations.
Oh my god, cringe. Polly donates $5 and says, I feel like an American idiot in the new Yankee Doodle, intended to disrespect Americans. And yet, turning it to sarcasm honestly feels appropriate. Thank you for the donation. Very generous. The best thing, and always is, like I always say, is to laugh at your opponent, because it makes him sad. Jano donates 25 Polish bucks and says, you don't understand, Kib. Bino worked on a bootleg version of Terrestria, and he will be punished for it. So what he continued is actually valid. Trust me. SFM, Bucky Choice, thank you for the donation.
So it's Bucky's choice.
You know, let's just put it into a pool called Bucky's Choice for right now.
He's got to decide later. Todd donates $5 and says, hello, Bickering Bunch. I guess DMC shows that all cultures are equal. Hashtag make hell great again. Also, hashtag breed Gibbs. Hashtag boot Bucky. Hashtag Del Rapier. Oh, you read that one. Okay, so we're caught up. Listen, you got what he paid for, okay? Double readings are part of the channel special.
Not cut up.
Channel
Mr. Personality just
special.
donated $5 and says millennial writers.
He's not a millennial, I don't think.
Yeah, he's born in like 1980 something.
You know, he hates America. He came to our country. He
was born
hates
in
us. No, he was born in Bengal.
No,
that's what
he
Jeff
was
said.
he was born in India
His
or
nationality is listed as American.
yeah, because he moved here
He moved here.
at the age of 16.
Like a parasite. He's come into
That's
our
like-
country.
Holy shit, Gibbs.
What? It's the truth, and you agree with me.
Oh, okay, power level.
Listen, sometimes the truth must be said. That's why we
Anyways,
get the big bucks.
So the idea, the reason, sorry, Riffer donates 5 memberships.
Thank you for your generous donations of memberships, Riffer Pifford. Have it very much. Yeah.
So the issue being, Rapier, is that if somebody is born abroad, learns to hate everything that America has to offer, and then eventually moves here, are they American?
No, I wasn't
Okay,
claiming
then-
that. I was just
yeah.
under the impression he was born here. That was
No, he was
So-
not.
You know that statement I said earlier? It's true. It's true.
He probably grew up in a predominantly Muslim Indian culture because he's, the places he was living in and how they depict America's actions. So,
Well, chat, a donation to your best boy Kib is basically the best way to fight this. Because you know why? We can create positive media. But, enough about self-shilling. The more important thing to take away from this, though, chat, is that, holy shit, never give your IP to Netflix. Oh my god.
yeah, not only that, I was surprised that they were able to sneak one more fuck you out the door. Because if you think about it, chat, I don't know which link it is, but there's I think it's the one to the left of this tab.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
this scene. There's more than one. Okay, so this is from the Rings of Power TV show, and for those who don't have context, Rings of Power is fucking garbage. It's not Lord of the Rings. It's not Tolkien-esque at all, and it's just fucking trash. Don't watch it. Don't waste your time on it. Don't waste your time on it. This is from a scene where this orc dude is with his orc wife with their orc infant right here, which is not how orcs reproduce. Orcs are literally elves dragged to hell, basically, by Morgoth or whatever, deep underground and tortured for like eons into these rabid, monstrous things. That's how orcs are made. They're not born. They're not born. It is a violation and a rape of the natural world. And that's what orcs represent. That's why the genocide of orcs is a good thing in Lord of the Rings. That's why it talks about wiping them out. All of them. And why that's a good thing. Because they're literally just evil. You can't reason with them. You can't bargain with them. You just kill them. Problem solved.
Evil cannot create anything new. It can only twist and corrupt what good men have created.
That's true.
Yep.
Rings of Power, Devil May Cry, Castlevania, Halo TV show.
But so chat. So if you skip, go to the next image in that.
Yep. And this is from that one. Literally just copying the same fucking beats. Here is a Muslim man, Muslim demon woman, Muslim child, other Muslim child, and they're portrayed as Muslims. By the way, that's what they do.
I go to the left tab one more. I'm trying to find the one more. Yeah.
Let me know when to stop.
So there's the American Idiot starting soundtrack.
Yep, where it's like, oh my god, what are we doing? Evil white Christian man. I think there's a scene with him with his cross out, if I remember right.
Yes, it's in the two tabs to the right. But I just watching this fucking.
Oh yep, right there. Oh
he's
my
falling.
god. It's just fucking so dumb.
So there's only like one truly religious person, and then everybody else is depicted as either questioning their faith or atheistic, and they're good.
Yep. Well, because it's a non-Christian person attacking Christians and attacking white people and anyone who disagrees with him.
Mm-hmm.
What's funny about the Devil May Cry stuff is devils never cry. That's like a massive story point, by the way, in the DMC universe. So this whole like what's the word? Portraying them as like innocent bullshit is this shit right here is just nonsensical. Because in Devil May Cry, demons need your blood as a fuel source, meaning they kill millions of people and intend to basically wipe out humanity or turn them into basically blood slave sacrifices. That's what these demons want to do to you. Not only will they do that to the men, women, children, and everyone, not only evil and irredeemable, but they are also incapable of feeling pity or remorse. They're incapable of crying. It's such a big story point that it's referenced multiple times in the games that devils never cry. And the whole point of Devils May Cry is the three quote-unquote devils, quote-unquote, that are less evil, and the sons of Sparta. Or, well, the two sons of Sparta and then the other son's grandson, basically, right? So, it's Nero, it's fucking Dante, and it's goddamn Virgil. That's the human ones. And the reason why they are is because they have a bit of humanity in them, right? They're capable of feeling.
as their mother.
Yes. They feel pity. They feel remorse. They cry. The reason why Dante didn't strike down Trish in Devil May Cry 2 was because while she was kind of demonic and stuff, she was able to cry. And devils never cry. So therefore, she wasn't a threat to him. Hence why he spared her. Big story point, chat. Big story point. Devils, bullet in the head of this thing. Bullet head in that thing, because whatever these are, they're not human. Kill them. They're evil.
So, this is the Freyren question, chat. Okay. Why are people identifying, like, the people who are trying to make you out to be evil for liking this content the way it was, painting minorities as literal devils
Yeah.
and demons?
Amazing thinking.
Why did what's his name? Adi or whatever? Some dumb fucking name.
Adi, yeah, Adi. Shankara.
Ugh, dumb name. But either way, why did dumb name nuts fucking name? Why are these? Why does he portray Muslims as demons, chat? Serious question we have to ask ourselves. Why would he do that? Especially if he's trying to make them sympathetic. Like, what are you doing? Like, what is the purpose of this?
So the one to go to the right, I think,
To the right.
on the tab.
Nope.
One more.
There we go.
Is that it? No. Go back to.
Go back to.
Damn, you didn't click on the. You didn't load them in order. Okay.
But
Go find the one where it's the video of them standing in the room together.
That's on it.
No, go to the right, genius. You have more to the right. There you
This
go.
one, yeah.
Yeah. This is the one they were like, we're just a family. Leave us alone.
Yeah, look, as they're wearing like fucking refugee shit clothes. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Listen to that shit. That what she saw was real. Also,
Yeah.
Everything to hide you. Now you turn your gun on us, on our kids. We want nothing from you. Just leave, please.
Your friend slaughtered my team.
You think we're with them?
She's a sapien. Of course she thinks all demons are the same. If you're not with the White Rabbit's gang, why are you here?
We needed a way out. He had one.
A way out of where?
hold on. This track is a bit too obnoxious.
Yeah, it's a little too loud.
Makai. You call it the demon realm, or hell. But it's not hell. It's worse. A desolate place barely suited for life. And that was before the warlords ravaged what few resources we had and turned the atmosphere toxic. Only the strongest Makaians can stand to breathe it. For those like us,
The air itself is poison. Children rarely survive their first year. We couldn't accept that fate.
weak ass sob story. And it doesn't explain how the overgrown rodent got you into our realm.
With a device that he built. He showed up with it a year ago, offering passage to this world for anyone who wanted. Dozens of families like us came.
We did it so our children could live and
Refugees.
live in a better world. Then we realized there is no better world for us.
Yeah, there isn't.
Sapiens hate and fear our kind.
Parasites.
Never been able to mix
I hate that logic, by the way. So we let our world go to shit, so we're gonna go to your world and make it go to shit too. What the fuck? Like, piss off. You fucked your world. That's not our fault. That's not our problem. Don't bring your shit here.
You got some money, by the way.
Oh,
Order
no. Possums. Postlets. You know, his $2 says, why did America invade hell? Was there oil there? No, there's just a dumb political statement.
Mm-hmm. It was a religious war.
Pretty much.
James Lamenter has been a member for 12 months. Says Gibbs says these people are literal demons.
They are demons. Lady should unironically blow their brains out. She would blow their brains out. Also, the redesign of Lady here is terrible. Like, they've absolutely
They
ruined
made her
her.
look like the Dread Cop.
Yeah, they basically ripped off the Judge Dredd look.
We have no choice but to stay here in hiding, doing whatever that lunatic tells us, and turning a blind eye to his...
To his what?
They've downsized her
Careful
titties,
our
too.
horses. He does tests on them. Experiments.
trying to
The
teach
children!
us
Think of the children!
you.
Lazy writing.
Lily just said how they just
But they're actually
turn a blind
demons.
eye because they're
No
weak.
better than to trust the words of a demon.
after everything that's happened, maybe I don't actually know shit.
Maybe we don't know shit. Maybe demons can't be reasoned with. Yeah, the same demons that use our blood as a fuel source and have no intention of sparing humanity. Yeah, let's trust the demons.
Remember, this is the series that's meant to be faithfully adapted to the setting.
Yes,
Yep.
according to him, this is a faithful adaptation, chat. Are you gonna be mean-spirited and say it's not? Like, yeah. Green Branch donates $5 and says, before this shit show, there was an anime of DMC. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't great. Yes, it's kind of average. There is an actual faithful anime adaptation. It's not really great, but it's alright. It's more like a side story for Dante and saving this little girl or something. SF, Advanced Wars, DD, Dual Strike. I assume. Thank you for your donation. Hashtag sour. Even Doom had a better reason for open portals to hell, says Todd. And thank you for the donation. That's true. What's funny about this is, do you have the Tower Bahamut? Or Bahamut, or whatever the fuck it's called? I can't remember. It's literally a demon tower constructed on Earth that slowly rises out of the ground because Virgil pulls it out of the ground at some point. And then fights fucking Dante at the top of it. I don't even think the show has it. It's like this show is not even about demons. Like, it's just like,
Also,
demons are just people. What?
Blake pointed out that in the scene when the jets are shooting their missiles, that's the portal apparently opens up on top of where the two towers are.
Oh my god, what? Oh my god. It's 9/11 all over again. See what I mean? This is like 2 decades too late. This kind of show. Like, this is 20 years too late, sorry. Like, the 9/11 focus is just kind of like dated and old. Like, move the fuck on. Like, this whole fucking like, oh, Dick Cheney and, you know, Bush warmonger thing that they're trying to go for is like, who? Most people don't even know who those people are anymore. People have moved on with their lives.
Yeah, this
ago.
has nothing to do with Devil May Cry. This has everything to do with America Bad.
Yep, it's just America's evil, and that's all this show is. It has nothing to do with Dante. Dante's not Dante. There is literally a scene where Dante is like one-upped by fucking goddamn Lady, which is retarded because in Devil May Cry 2, I believe it was 2, when Lady shows up with a rocket launcher and shoots at him, he literally rides the rocket launcher around going hee 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 yay, you know, like having a fun time. Basically just laughing at her attempt to even hurt him. And he doesn't bother fighting her or really killing her or anything because she's no threat. Lady isn't a threat to Dante. But in this, she beats and like dominates Dante in like a scene. Which is just, oh, DMC 3. Okay. I couldn't remember which one that was. Was that 3? Can't remember. Either way, it's just fucking retarded. I can't get over how dumb that is.
Yep. Oh, these are the two brothers, the Sword Brothers, which is funny.
You post something?
No, the video right below it. So those two Sword Brothers you kill and you take their swords as their heads. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, because he uses the weapons. I remember when he
Yeah.
gets Cerberus's nunchuck. And Cerberus turns into nunchucks, if I remember right.
Yeah.
And every time Dante does that, by the way, it's just funny to him. Oh, that's such bad animation. It's not even funny. It's 3D.
But yeah, no, so all of the usual suspects are coming out and saying it's great, it's an amazing adaptation. If you don't like it, don't watch it or whatever. And it's all the same like recanned response to a shit fucking adaptation.
Look at this comment as a great example of that, by the way. Breaking. Stories are about things. Sweaty gamers piss themselves. That's somebody who doesn't know, like, again, vitriol and hatred. Vitriol and hatred is all they have for you, chat. They don't care about you. They don't like you. They don't want you. They want you gone. And they want to take the thing you love and pervert it into something it isn't. And then kick you out of that thing.
Now go over until you see the gif of the white rabbit. not the video, but the GIF.
Yeah, it should be D.
That one. Yeah. So. See what it says. Holy fuck! It's so.
Holy
They
fuck!
nailed it.
The new Devil May Cry animated series was astonishing. They nailed everything. The story, the music, everything. Jaw is on the floor. Go watch it. Will not be disappointed if you are a fan of the series. Said
And
by
then look
person.
at the fucking. Yeah, look at the post right below it.
Me immediately after going to check reviews and seeing a lot more people are disappointed rather than have enjoyed it.
Yeah, because they don't know what the fuck. They don't know what Devil May Cry is.
They don't know what Devil May Cry is. They don't care. Anyone
They
that
don't care.
says
They're
that,
just lying.
anyone that says that shit is not a fan. If you're not a fan of something, that's okay. You don't have to be a fan. But here's the thing. If you're not a fan of something, don't try to tell people what they should like about something, right? Like, if you like Starship Troopers, the movie, and, that's fine, but, like, don't say, like, this is how it should be, because it's actually a complete betrayal of what the book was supposed to be about. The book was about something completely different. And so when you do these things, when you have these different pieces of media, you need to make sure that when people are talking about it, like, hey, if this isn't fucking accurate to Star Wars, or this isn't accurate to Halo, or whatever, they're going to be pissed, and they have a right to be pissed. Don't tell them that this is accurate. Don't lie to people and say that this is great. It isn't great. It's shit. Devil May Cry Netflix show is garbage. It's not debatable. It's not a conversation. It's just a fact. We need to accept that it's garbage, and it's nothing more than that. Hot, steaming shit. Because that's what Audie is as a person. He's a piece of shit. And all he can do is make shit. Just looking at his track record is so fucking baffling. Because it's like, how does this person manage to stay in fucking... Like, fire him. Fire him. Literally kick him out. Fucking
Because he's
Christ.
pushing the message they want to push. So
He is incompetent. Screw the message. The only thing that matters is his ass on the street, homeless and starving. Polly donates $5 and says, like, OMG. I love how this media agrees with me. It's mine now. And the sweaty nerds have to leave because it was never meant for them. Hashtag Bucky's choice. Yes, exactly, right? It's like those people that come in and be like, oh, the Imperium of Man are kind of like evil and stuff. It's like, well, yeah, compared to our society, they are kind of evil. That's true. However, have you seen what they're fighting? Tyranids, fucking Necrons, goddamn chaos gods and shit like that. So, all things considered, they're not that bad in a universe that's basically dying. It's grim dark. It's bleak. It's supposed to be bleak on the cover art. It says, then there's, in the grim dark far future, there can only be war. It's supposed to be upsetting. If you don't like it, fuck off. It's like, people about Star Wars is like, okay, like, that's not how your Force works. Like, oh my god, just strangle. I remember having a conversation like, the Force doesn't actually allow somebody to do that. Like, you can't just instantly learn how to do stuff. And they're like, the Force, and they laughed at me, and I'm like, okay, well, whatever then. Like, then the rules don't matter, and things just happen because I'm too stupid to comprehend that there are rules and that physics exists. Like,
Well, it's
I'm
a
floating
fictional
now.
setting, Gibbs. Why does it matter?
I'm floating and levitating, chat. Oh, look at me. Look at... How did he do that? Well, because I wrote that I could. So fuck you.
Also, you're forgetting something very important, Gibbs.
What?
With Star Wars. The Force is female now.
It doesn't have a gender. Oh.
Dead Glory donate money.
Genders are for all fucking biological creatures because we need to fuck each other in order to make more of each other. Now, Polly donates $5, says, like, OMG. I like...
You already read
I
that.
read that. My brain's relapsing. I'm relapsing because I'm spurging. Dead Glory donates $5
You are
says,
spurring.
these people that destroy what we like need to be prevented from breeding. They are a stain on society. It's not a biological hereditary trait. It is a educational failing, is what it is. Nurture. Japros. It's nurture. Their education system has failed because if it worked, nobody would be brainwashed into thinking that this was a good idea, right? If people just simply were taught and educated and beaten properly with rulers every time they acted up, we wouldn't have these problems. And Brifford gives 5 memberships. Thank you for the gifted memberships. Very generous. Okay. Sorry. I'm just having a little bit.
Chat
Shut up,
room.
Alex. Never talk about that show. I refuse to even talk about that at all. I refuse to even talk about. They removed
but
the
the,
magical mythology. Go ahead.
So here's what is the motivation behind people who wrote this shit fucking series, Gibbs?
Well,
What do you think it is?
I think their motivation is to basically push a political message, and that message is specifically to basically be like anti-American. Don't be proud of your culture. Feel bad about it. There's nothing for you to be proud, have pride in, and be proud of. Your heritage means nothing. All your beliefs culturally and history matters not at all, because they're attacking your historical principles, attacking that, oh, your interpretation of hell is wrong, which makes you a bigot and you're evil, you're a monster. Your pride and your sense of nation is terrible. Nothing you should be proud about for you. You didn't achieve anything. You stole it. Nothing you did was earned. Everything you did was stolen. You have nothing to be proud about. You don't matter. Feel bad. Give us power instead. That's what it always boils down to. It's about basically tearing down successful and better things because you can't make anything good yourself. And so, much like the Devil May Cry or the Halo TV show or all these garbage shit shows written by trash human beings, all these fucking things, the problem with them is that they didn't earn this thing they had made. You know, it's the quote from Jurassic Park where Goldberg or whatever the fuck his name says, basically, you know, you didn't work or sweat or build any of this. You just took what somebody else did and just ran with it and made it used it for your own ends without understanding what it was for. And it's like, yeah, that's what you did, because you don't care about Devil May Cry. You don't care about good media. You don't care about good stories. You don't care about good characters. You don't care about anything. The only thing you care about is hurting everyone around you. That's why I hate people like this, because these people will bully people into suicide. These people will steal your things. These people will try to rip your very culture from you. They are the worst human beings imaginable and cannot be tolerated. They need to be basically pushed out of every working place. Like, we can't tolerate that kind of behavior. You can't go around harassing people. You can't go around attacking people for their beliefs. If you don't like someone's opinions, that's fine. You can disagree with them. But you can't go around literally destroying everything you touch. They stole things that better people built. That's absolutely true, Chad.
What is Kib's choice? Is it still the Chatfish fund to give someone a Chatfish?
Helping Europa for a commissar because I promised him.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's okay to hate these people. Hatred is earned when somebody tells you you're bad. If somebody's like yells at you and calls you trash, it's okay to hate them because they hate you too. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, a nail for a nail. It's what you get. That's called karma. The thing is, I treat, and I know most of you are good people, and you treat everybody fairly. Everyone gets a fair chance. Everyone gets a chance to, prove themselves. And when they spit on you, shit all over your things, you have a right to be angry. Because they're literally attacking you. Actually. They're literally... Not directly, indirectly, but you can still hate that.
Yeah. No, what I take away from this is that there are still people out there that they're not good enough to make their own content, and so they're leeching off other IPs. And not only that, but they understand that there's no appetite for what they're wanting to make, but they still want to force it onto people. And so they'll lie. Yeah, they'll lie, cheat, steal, and hide what they are intending to do long enough to be able to pull the rug right out from under you. And that's the idea of that fucking faithful adaptation tweet that guy put out, is because he knew people were concerned about the what he was going to do with it, and so he had to lie.
Yeah.
And they'll use that as defense, saying, "No, it is. You guys are just lying." They use that as
Mhm.
to run defense.
My
now for it.
interpretation is the true interpretation. Everyone else's is the shit take.
Yeah. Also, if you want another example of just maliciousness and subverting, the image I posted where they use Virgil's theme, who's the bad guy, for Dante's theme in the show.
I thought I opened it.
Yes.
Right there. Yeah. So Bury the Light, which is literally Virgil's fucking theme song about him.
Like all the fucking memes that
The
use burning
I
light, that's
am
what
the
it's about,
storm
Virgil.
that is approaching is a literal reference to Devil May Cry 1 when he said a storm was approaching. I forget the one like skinny looking bad guy when he talked about Virgil. Bury the Light is Dante's boss theme in the game, and we might see it in the series when we see him as the boss of the Devil May Cry organization. What? Like, this is dumb. No,
Yeah, look at the image.
This is that's Virgil.
Look at the
It
image.
says Virgil's rebirth.
It
Yeah,
says
the image
Virgil's
right there.
rebirth on it. It's about Virgil. The I am the storm that is approaching is basically because Virgil in Devil May Cry 5 reforms himself when his humanity returns with his demon half and he becomes whole again. It's so stupid.
Honestly, what that sounds like to me is that whoever made that decision just wanted Bury the Light to be Dante's theme.
They chose it because it's one of the most popular songs of it all.
It was the most popular song. I
the
also think it's
franchise,
100% a Verhoeven issue.
Elaborate.
Paul Verhoeven.
Basically, he didn't care for it, so he probably pawned it off to someone else, and they're like, here's how it is, and he's just like, okay.
Yeah, basically, he doesn't know anything about the series. He doesn't know anything about the IP, the background. All he knows is that it's relatively popular, and he knows certain names of what should be in the series. And that's it.
See, I'm new to Devil May Cry still, because I only played it like 2 years ago, I think, is when I first figured out like what Devil May Cry was truly and played them. And like, just from playing even Devil May Cry 5, even before I played 1 or 2, oh god, 2 broke me as this person. That was terrible. I don't know, maybe I'm like the only person that thinks that, but like, I don't think that game aged well. I don't know if that's a hot take, but whatever. But either way, so, oh my god, Jesus Christ, chat bros. Like, the whole idea of like demons being negotiable and talkable when it's like, they literally use blood for their powers. Everything is blood-based. The blood is a fuel source. They harvest blood. Those roots and stuff coming out of people is draining them of their blood, killing them.
And if memory serves, like in all the other Devil May Cry media, the majority of devils, like 99%, save like half devils like Dante, view human as chattel. At best.
They made Dante's Devil Trigger. What the fuck? Nero's Devil Trigger. Why the fuck they use Nero's theme song? Devil Trigger's Nero's theme.
I would argue they are intentionally trying to subvert the entire thing.
I think it might be what Bucky said. I don't know if it's intentional, because I don't think these people care about the setting. They care about the message more than anything else. The video game, okay, so I can tell you exactly what these people are like, because I've met people like this before, a long time ago. But how they usually think is it's actually not about the game at all. It's like, whatever, like the Devil May Cry setting has reached X amount of people, so that's going to have X amount of potential viewership. So I'm more interested in pushing this message to that X amount of potential viewership point. So it's like 150,000 people maybe, and maybe half of them watch, so maybe, 75,000 or something like that will watch this fully, completely. So I'm going to push it to that 75,000 people. And this is my message. I don't care about Devil May Cry. I'm just going to ride the skin suit all the way forward. They don't care about it. They don't research it. They can't, because to do that kind of research, Rapier, implies they care enough to actually bother reading it. When they don't. We know that because Paul Verhoeven's Starship Troopers, while it is a good movie, is a case and point example of that, and he made that known publicly. that he couldn't be bothered to read the book when he made the movie, and that's why the movie, while fun, is a shit movie when it comes to adaptation. Like, adaptation-wise, is one of the worst. Because it's like, the mobile infantry, they're basically just air cav now. It's like, what the fuck? They wear power armor. They wear power armor. Why are they air cav from, like, Vietnam? Air cav.
Yeah. Also, Hugo Fugu donated €5. Draconis needs more months for PC help. Lord Draconis. Little Slytherin didn't even thought to mention that the Freedom Bucks arrived, but well. So Hugo sent him some cash to help him, and he didn't even tell him he got it.
Nice. Thank you for the donation.
Nice. Also, was there any other donations? You got? Okay, you did get that one.
Did you get Scaffy this out or Strange?
Yeah, that one. Go ahead, Kibbs. Read that. It's a $2 one.
Read which one?
The one above Fugo Fugi's.
Oh, Scarfy. Fucking hell, dyslexic.
Scarfy. He's like, "Whoa, we need Mongols. They know how to teach respect. I don't know if I want Mongols to burn my house down and then rape everyone around me and then behead me. Mongols are savages. But I will say that Mongolian grilled food, pretty good.
Yeah,
That's
but
not
their
even
food's so
Mongolian, though.
tasty, says
It's
Kibbs.
Americanized, I know. It's Americanized.
No, it is. That said, though, it's probably... actually, no, I can't say that. I haven't tried, like, authentic. And did you read his one before?
Another one, Scarfy. Thank you for the donation. He says for $5, considering that there is already a DMC anime, this is highly unnecessary. Well, there is a DMC anime, but it's about a side story for, if I remember correct, I don't want to chat about this, about Dante, this little girl. She's got like a big inheritance coming her way, and somehow like demons are involved. I can't remember the plot. It wasn't particularly interesting. It wasn't.
I remember it
wasn't terrible,
offensive.
but it wasn't great. It's kind of just, kind of like you watched it and it doesn't really stick with you. It didn't really have the charm that the games did. See, it would be good, and I do think that it's fair for fans of the series for Devil May Cry to want a anime adaptation. I think there's nothing wrong with that. I think an anime adaptation with Dante and Virgil and Nero would be really awesome if done and executed well. I think the fans deserve that. The issue is that these people didn't deserve the honor of working on that project. And it should be considered an honor to work on a project to adapt something like that.
So I posted something in the stream room, Kibbs.
Oh boy, let's open this bad boy up. He's like, don't open it, it's gay porn. Ah! It's gay porn.
You never know with Bucky.
Sincerity versus irony. Oh, somebody wrote something up. But the character designs immediately when you look at that, like it just hits hard.
I want to say the left one is like, yeah, that's definitely Devil May Cry. That looks about right.
Oh my god, that's true. 2000s writing. Piano playing softly. The music for Devil May Cry, the pianos and the orchestral and the opera singing that they have in them is very good. Playing softly in the background while someone speaks coherent English. 2025. Slurs, girl bosses, and more slurs. Because they can't speak coherently. And because they don't know how to write good female characters. The thing is, Lady was an interesting female character originally.
Yeah.
And like they just butchered her character. Oh my god, fine, I'll read this. Because this exacerbates, like I just skimmed it and I can already tell. So this is from 2005. This is Lady from Devil May Cry 3 2005. You've heard of it, haven't you? The Legend of Sparta. When I was young, my father would tell me stories about it. Long ago, in ancient times, a demon rebelled against his own kind for the sake of the human race. With his sword, he shut the portal to the demonic realm and sealed the evil entity off from our human world. But since he was a demon himself, his power was also trapped on the other side. I never believed it. I thought it was just a child's fairy tale. But I discovered that the so-called legend wasn't a myth at all. Sparta existed. How do I know? Well, I met the sons of Sparta, both of them. Though the same blood of their father flowed through their veins, the two battled each other fiercely, like arch enemies. It seems as if they derived some twisted pleasure from this brotherly fighting. Which, yeah, it does feel that way. But in the end, only one was left standing. That's true. Because Dante basically strikes down Virgil. If I remember right? Yeah, Virgil falls. Yep, and then he tries to catch him, and then fucking Virgil just slashes his blade at him, like as he goes down. Oh my god! I know
big thing about
the
Virgil,
rivalry.
He's very prideful.
He's very prideful. It's like, no, fuck you. Let's see. He was a demon knight. This is from the 2025, 2 decades later. He was a demon knight, whatever that means. Big bad warrior, blah, 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 blah. 2,000 years ago, when our land was still connected to their shithole, and Mundus wasn't happy, just ruling the shithole. And I guess Sparta woke up one day and realized, hey, this is evil as fuck. He fought against Mundus, taking out hundreds of his own former legions. Kind of the least he could fucking do, really. Like, it just does, they don't care. Blah, 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 the lore, blah, 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 lore, blah, 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 no one cares, blah, 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 blah. That's what that reads like.
Blah, 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 2,000 years ago is basically what the writers actually just want to say.
That is why I look at it as a Paul Verhoeven situation.
Couldn't be bothered to read it, blah, blah, blah. Because this is actually the writer himself speaking to you, chat. He's talking directly to you about the story.
That's true, Edelman. Very poetic.
Yeah, retarded. Even the character designs are so vastly different, it's just laughable. It's like, what the fuck is this goddamn knockoff fucking Dread...
That's a woman, can't you tell?
...judge outfit? No, I can tell it's a woman, but the big thing is that it's just, it's boring. Like, boring. Wow, cool design. Sexy. Massive fucking cannon. Look at that bayonet. You know, she may look slender and, you know, meek, but that weapon, well, that's fucking intimidating.
Heavy
that's gonna blow my rib cage right out is what that's gonna do.
That's basically like a fucking like mortar attached to a bayonet, and she's just casually carrying that.
Yeah, that thing gonna turn me into fucking soup.
Yes, Rifford makes a point. It's the just cursing every other sentence to be edgy.
Evil as fuck, shit, fuck. You know, yeah, like that. Now I gotta get myself in trouble because YouTube doesn't like it when you do that. But either way, it's just, that's the problem, right? Like, I swear a lot, but when I write lore or write dialogue, I try to avoid swear words whenever possible because swear words are bad. It's basically lazy writing. Never swear, and if you're gonna use a curse, use it sparingly so that it has meat and weight behind its usage. It's
unironically how I was basically taught. I say taught, like when I was going to college and all that shit. The writing classes, one of my professors said something. I'm like, I kind of lean on this more than not. If you're like writing dialogue, right? Typically speaking, don't use curse words, and the only time you would, and he used the example of Vietnam, where it's like, okay, in a situation like that, there's 2 guys, and then one of them got shot in the gut. He's probably going to swear. And that's basically...
yeah.
And not only that, just like the dialogue between the 2 soldiers, like after that incident, right?
Yep.
And he's like, in that situation, it makes sense. But in most other situations, try not to write characters swearing.
Yes. I still... It's up to the writer, but personally, if at all possible, no swear words.
Well, that's why I say
swear words are valuable.
I tend to lean towards that more than not.
Rapier made Takashi happy. # Commander's Choice. Oh.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
Chumba pleased him.
I actually don't know what he's talking about.
I don't either. But I'm just going to make it sound
unfortunate
bad.
Because he thinks he knows, so...
I am concerned now.
Looks like you're gay now. No.
Jesus, kids, alright.
I destroyed him in one fell swoop. See? Words have meat and weight, chat. They have meat. See? Impact. Kinetic strike on Chumba's emotions. He's sinking.
Emotional damage.
He's flipping over, splits in half as he descends into the depths of sadness. Ah, my nose itches. Don't you me, Mr. Betrayed us last night. Yeah, he thought I forgot about that.
I didn't betray anybody, kids. I set up everything perfectly.
I knew you'd do that. And I was watching, and then he disappeared, and I'm like, call that! And then we laughed. We laughed. You felt it as you laid in bed and cried. Don't worry about it,
I
chat.
didn't lay in bed and cry.
You did. Words like other things are subject to inflation. Don't overprint. That's true. Garrosh calling Sylvanas a bitch in Cataclysm was the shit. Yeah, that's why when you use a swear word, it can have very massive power if used correctly. Impact. But if you have a character that swears like super frequently, it just comes off as bad. And I find
Meaningless.
not only that, but I find most video game dialogue and dialogue in games also kind of lazy half the time because characters just talk like fucking potatoes. But then again, they say so much, but they say so little. Either way.
I think the big, I think the big issue here is that the laziness is only matched by the fucking nefariousness of the fucking series. Because it's not just that they didn't look at any of the fucking backstory. They intentionally derided the backstory, saying you're not even worthy enough to get the fucking background of this series. You don't deserve that. We're just going to blah blah it fucking and his hand wave it away because it's not important. Here, watch Green Day music over this fucking shot of us blowing up brown people. I mean demons in another world.
I mean, good catch.
To be fair, very American, but it's in Devil May Cry, so it's like, okay, hold on.
Yeah. And then it's like, and then they have the gall to lie directly to your face in the meantime, telling you before it comes out. It's like, no. It's faithful. It's fine. Look, don't worry about it. This is not going to be another Masters of the Universe thing. It's not He-Man being killed, and then the rest of us having to deal with it.
Ugh! I don't even care about He-Man. I just cringe. I don't even care.
Yeah, that's why I hate it. I hate this almost as much as I hate Nintendo.
Oh god, Nintendo. So where do we begin, chat bros? It's over, chat bro gamers. It's over. Nintendo has decided that video games will be $10,000 from now on, chat.
$1 billion.
And it's one thing.
Yeah.
I do remind people that it's like, yes, gaming did used to be pretty expensive, but at this point, there's not really anywhere near as much of an excuse for it anymore. Especially considering with
It became
now
mainstream.
where it's like,
yeah.
well, there's the economy of scale, yeah, but there's also, okay, so you're going to pay a shit ton of money for it, even though if you buy a physical copy, you're not actually buying a physical copy. It's just like, okay, now you can access the servers, so it's like, so it's still all online. It's fucking stupid.
It's also a way for them to make the used game market completely gone.
Game companies have
can't
been
buy-
trying to do that.
Yes, but this is Nintendo's
Oh, no,
way.
I-
Now you buy
agree
the physical
with that,
disc,
yeah.
the physical copy, you get a code. That's a single-use code.
Yep.
Like you can't give the disc, you can't resell it. Ever.
It's so that you can't resell.
Yeah.
Their hatred of
Game
of,
companies
used
have
copies.
hated the right of first. They've hated the right of first sale for years.
Yep. And they've been trying to actively destroy it for billions of years, and they finally found a way to do it. Actually, no. Well, the issue is that I think Nintendo its greed might have consumed it and gone maybe too far, because game developers pushing $70 price tag was already rancid, and people needed to just be disgusted. Honestly, I can't stop complaining about it, and I never will. But $80 fucking for a game is just fucking... It's an insult. That's double what you should actually be paying. Video games should be cheaper now than they ever were before because A, it's easier to make games now than it ever has been historically. They're not breaking new ground anymore. This isn't cutting edge anymore. You're using techniques and technology that is well known in pretty much every other way. Making 3D games is as easy as pie nowadays. You can do it, chat. Doman, you can do it right now. You could probably make a game. It might not be the best game ever, but you could pump one out in fucking a few months. If you really wanted to, it's not hard. You have a
Even
team of
Hellbound
paid
can.
professionals, and now you're asking me to pay $80 for this? And then you have the gall to tell me that A, you're not going to own this game, and B, like, not only not going to own this game, but we're also using AI art in it. We're not even using that much stuff. And also, we're not shipping it, so you're only going to buy it digitally anyways. So it's like, okay, you don't need to ship stuff anymore. So there's no fuel costs for delivery. There's no making or manufacturing costs. There's no storage costs for stores, like buying it and holding it. None of that logistics, that's just gone now. It doesn't matter anymore. It's all digital. So now you don't have that as a factor. And you said games would be getting cheaper because of that. And why is it that many games are getting cheaper? A lot of them are $40, and $40 and $50 are becoming the norm for some smaller studios because they were right. They can make them that cheap. They can make them cheaper. They'll probably get to $40. $40 is probably where they'll round off at. But these larger AAAs don't want that. They're greedy. They're incompetent. They can't make good games without
They want to
7
go
different
back
studios.
to the unironic pricing of like $120 for a video game.
Well,
It's the same mindset that EA had, right? Dead Space was a success. A lot of their games, Command & Conquer, were successes. But why didn't they keep making them? You know why? Because they weren't blockbusters. They're not turning out like 10 times the profit that they invested in it. And because they're not satisfied with that, they're going to axe those products. And they did. Many studios have died. Many genres have died because of that, or dying out. And the reason why is because it's not the Battle Royale. It's not the fucking new Minecraft. It's not the blockbuster new Halo, you know. And because you're not those things,
It's not even...
you don't get to exist, and that's the focus. If it's not turning a massive profit, it's not good enough. And this logic applies to each game. In order to get that massive profit they want, that greed, they're going to charge you $80 for a game that's probably worth $30 or $40 at best. And then
kids, there's that. There's also the fact that what game companies actually want is games as a service, is what they actually want. Which is why they're having the upfront cost be so high, because they found out that it's actually really difficult to make a single game as like games as service. I think what is it? Grand Theft Auto is pretty much like one of the biggest ones for that.
Grand Theft Auto unironically killed Rockstar Games. Like, Rockstar Games occasionally produce something interesting. Not the most talented studio, but you know, it is what it is. But definitely overrated. But yeah, the Grand Theft Auto 5 thing killed them. They killed their creative energy. Like, they don't know how to make games anymore. Because they can just milk it.
Frederick is pointing out here, that the games are going up so much in cost. It's not just greed. These companies are so bloated with employees that they have to keep charging more to try to turn profits.
Well, yep. But it's also the fact that they're like, okay,
And
they have their HR team, their DEI team, you know, that fucking, like, are there enough black people over in this corner of the studio? No? Well, shoot the ones that aren't. Shoot the ones that aren't.
Yeah, and I think the issue is going to be, I typed it in chat, but I'll also just say it here. I think if they keep trying to push this, they're going to run into the same issue that Blockbuster did. For those of you too young to know what a Blockbuster was, it was a video rental store. I say was. There's technically still one, but that's not relevant to this point. But what happened is, you could rent a single game for $10, $12 for a week, and that was a really nice price point. But then the issue is, it got so expensive. When I stopped going, it was like $25 to rent a game for a week. And they just kept pricing themselves out of customers, and that basically crashed their business.
Mm-hmm.
And I view this is going to be similar, where it's like, it gets so expensive that people will still buy games. I'm not going to say it's going to like completely kill it, but what's going to happen is people are going to be more selective about the like 1 or 2 games they get a year, or however long that they decide to do it. So overall, there's going to be less sales, is what I view. This is going to lead to.
Chad, you want $90
yes.
games, right?
Well, they're gonna push for 100.
Yes.
I've got Sega
There's
Saturn
been lots
boxes
and
behind
lots
me.
No, that's what I said.
Yep.
of
I've got Sega Saturn
that's why I said
boxes behind
unironically
me.
they wanna go
Hold on a
back.
second. I've got literally boxes behind me where it says like $80 on it. Like $80 to $90 on some of those Sega Saturn things. And it's like, this one's 75% off. And it's like, wow, it's only like, $40. But yeah,
that's why I said
that's,
unironically they
yes,
want to go back to
that's
like
nothing. That's
$120
nothing
for-
new. That's nothing new. But the reason why they want to return to that is because they want to make more profit. They want to increase their margins higher. And because they're not thinking about making games fun anymore. Now, there are developers that do work under these people that do care about making good games. Don't operate under absolutes either. But the big thing is executives and the big money cruncher people at the top, they don't care. They don't care about, is it fun or not? Is this game going to sell or push 2-3 million units in the first week or not? And if the answer is no, they don't want it. That's why they leave a lot of ideas behind. Because it's not a blockbuster game. They're only going to focus all their efforts on the big hitters. And the minute the big hitters don't do it, like, they'll fucking drop Zelda like it's fucking hot potatoes if it became unpopular. They don't actually care about making these games for their fans. It's all about pushing the big numbers. The minute one of these things fuck up, they're dead.
I just don't like the callousness of what they're doing. On the back of suing the fuck out of competitors,
like Pal World,
and trademarking shit after the game became successful.
Fucking rancid, actually rancid.
That shit is the part that. No, that part, unironically, is the part that incensed me more than anything else. They trademarked it after they initiated the lawsuit.
Yep. That's so disgusting, and Japan is so fucking backwards with its legal system that they can do it
Nintendo gets to do it.
Nintendo is basically one of the reasons Japan is viewed as favorably as they are. So the Japanese legal system is very lenient towards Nintendo.
So Japan can override everyone else and piss and step on everyone else. They not only do that, but they also haul off people who mod their games to prison.
It's also, apparently, I remember hearing about if people are in public bad-mouthing Nintendo, they get shunned in Japan.
They get shunned.
Because Nintendo's the cultural powerhouse there.
It's the only reason they're relevant, really.
Yes, absolutely. Daryl says it, nailed it on the head. Nintendo is basically a Zaibatsu. It is. And Nintendo, while I like some of the games underneath their umbrella, I think the games are great, and some of the people that work underneath them are good people. They didn't do anything wrong. But Nintendo as an organization is evil. Period. That's not debatable. They're just bad. They're bad. They're bad for the games industry, and they're bad for developers. They bully and they harass them. If you're not able to be brought in line, they're going to attack you, like they did with the Pal World devs. The Pal World devs represent everything right in the industry, making things that people wanted to get made, doing the right thing for a niche. And they had a massive success, and great for them. But because Nintendo is greedy, they have no intentions of making a game like Pal World, ever. They're never going to make one. And the big thing is that because they're not going to do it, they cannot stomach that this game is culturally competing with their monopoly. Because that's what they are. They're a monopoly.
What was? Can somebody bring up the latest fucking Pokemon game meme images of how broken and jank that shit was?
Oh, that looked rancid. We're barely functional.
Polly, that's actually true. Kibbs, there was another thing that Nintendo did way back in the day. Like mini games while the game was loading used to be a thing, but then Nintendo patented it, even though they didn't create it. And because of that, that basically killed off like playing little mini games while the game was loading in the background.
Fuck Nintendo. Fuck patenting game mechanics. You can't do that. Like that needs
not in the
to
US,
stop.
Japan, you can.
Yeah, they can't. They can do it in
Japan. You can.
Yeah, in Japan they can. But you bet your ass. You know what? Fuck it. We're gonna have a fucking mini game.
It's why it was really funny when they tried to do it in the US, and didn't they strike down like literally everything for the at least for the for now?
Because Japan will bow to Nintendo at every fucking corner and give them whatever they want, or any of those major Japanese publishers in general.
That was Bandai. Okay, whatever. And I was wrong on that, but it's still
watch your attitude.
A Japanese way of appreciating.
Time out for 10 minutes. Do not call my guests. Do not lash out at my guests like that. Treat them with
What happened?
rude behavior is what happened.
What did Blake say, Gibbs?
He was being rude. You can correct them if they're wrong. That's fair. Mistakes happen. But do not attack guests ever again. Ever. Now, only I can do that. You can attack me. No, you can't. Actually, you can't do that. Shush. Actually, you can't do that.
So who was attacked, Gibbs? Though?
Blake.
That's what I wanted to
Blake
know.
was being mean to my ketchup.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Blake was attacking himself. I understand.
He's ketchup. But Bandai Namco also. Oh god, yeah, they're all fucking terrible.
No, the point that I was like really trying to make with that
Yep.
is the Japanese game, just Japanese companies in general,
Your point's still accurate. Yes.
are extremely aggressive. Yes, like sure, I was wrong with the company that did it, but still, that same thing.
Yeah. No, I despise Nintendo as a company.
They're a trash company.
They're so here. The Nintendo is a trash company when it comes to progress in the video game industry.
Yes.
In terms of quality,
Yes.
Nintendo will actively take care of its own employees
Hmm.
by cutting the salaries of the people at the top temporarily when they don't meet quotas. That's good, but they will ruthlessly, like a mob, take out their competition.
Yep. They're basically the Pinkertons of gaming.
It's why when people say,
Kinda.
yeah, it's why what I was looking at in chat when you were talking about Nintendo being a Zaibatsu. It's like, sure, they're not technically one, but if it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's like, look, it's pretty dang close.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But yeah. So the big thing to take away
I-
from Ants, you're lagging. Shush. Now,
I suppose actually
And
that's a
science!
good point. Yeah.
you're lagging.
You're lagging.
You're lagging too bad. Don't talk anymore. Shh. Better. Now, Chumba.
Yeah.
Good. Making sure you weren't lagging. I had to double check with. Otherwise, it might be me.
My hands is lagging for me too.
Yeah, no. Okay, so either way. But yeah. Pocket Pairs Craftopia had the ability to throw out a creature box thing to summon a creature. Then a Pokemon game came out with the ability to throw Pokeballs to summon Pokemon. Pocket Pair sounds cool. I don't know why, but I just like how it rolls off the tongue. Pocket Pair. Pocket
like a
Pair
pair of pockets.
Craftopia. It's a mouthful. It's what it is. But either way. But yeah, so the big thing is Nintendo. Okay, so talking about Nintendo critically, right? Nintendo has a couple things going for it in the good, right? In the good side, it has a good standard quality control, meaning that Nintendo usually will try to guarantee a certain measure of quality when giving their seal of approval. This is a thing that game companies used to do a lot more. PlayStation had the greatest hits, and Xbox had the platinum, and Nintendo had Nintendo Seal. And what these represented games where the actual companies and the manufacturers of these like consoles, if they funded these games or basically signed off on these games, like this game gets the seal. It's a platinum game because it's guaranteed to be fun. It's solid. It's one of the games we're proud to have on the console, right? Nintendo would have the Nintendo Seal, and PlayStation had the greatest hits. And these were the ways for basically people to know. It's like, okay, if you see that red line on the PlayStation box, that's probably a good PlayStation game. It's got greatest hits on it. It's probably a classic. You know, if it's an Xbox and it's got the silver box, it's probably goddamn good. If it's got the Nintendo Seal on it, it's probably going to run well. And as time went on, Xbox stopped doing the platinum games or releases for games, which is kind of a shame because it was a way to take pride and elevate developers above the rest that did better, right? So the merit, I would like to see that merit-based system return. And PlayStation got rid of the greatest hits stuff too. But Nintendo kind of always kept that seal thing going for a while, and that always was a nice thing. So to the credit, they had good standard quality control. But the issue with Nintendo is they're also incredibly behind and archaic when it comes to thinking. Number one, they're incredibly insecure about their competition to the point where they will cheat, and I mean do much very rancid things legally, like they did with Pal World. That's just fucking going after them and suing them, or Pocket Pair, which I never even heard about until today, but I'm not even surprised because it's definitely their MO. They will actively deter the gaming industry from progress because they go out of their way to attack anyone that isn't them. And that makes them fucking terrible.
It also shows that they're incapable of creating quality content anymore, based off of the recent Pokemon games.
The Pokemon games are a case in point of them becoming sterile.
Almost everyone I've talked to when it comes to like modern Pokemon games, they'll say it's like, they don't know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Also, Pocket Pair is the Power World devs, Kips.
Pocket Pair. Okay. Gotcha. I'm just thinking about this, like, I'm like, is this like a... Because I'm like trying to think about it. I was like, this is like a fucking like old like 90s or 80s thing I never heard
Nope.
about. No,
That was recent.
it's now. It's now.
Yeah, Pokemon never patented any of it until recently.
Yeah. And
Which is
apparently-
really funny.
I always forget the company names for these companies.
Well, I'm pretty sure. Actually, let me look up before I say anything.
Pocket Pair. It's such a great name. I love it. It's kind of cute. Bro, Presto can't get updates. Presto's destroyed. It's true. There's also a bounty on Presto.
Yeah,
just
because
a
they were
reminder.
talking about.
Nintendo sounds like what Cyberpunk was warning about, Japanese corporations. Well, yeah, the big problem is that Japanese corporations, they're behind because there's so many gaps in their legal system that they can just sort of exploit. And so the Japanese people are actually victimized by these corporations because of how bad they are. The reason why Cyberpunk always focused on how evil and rancid like Japan was, corporation-wise, and not Japanese people, the corporations, need to say that because some people are stupid. But the big thing is that these corporations, the government is kind of corrupt and lets them just do whatever the fuck they want. And that's
So
not
long
okay.
as it makes them look good.
Yep,
Yes.
as long as it benefits them in some way. And because of that loophole,
guarantee
that's
you-
bad. What?
Yeah, I can guarantee you if all of a sudden, for whatever reason, like a Japanese company makes Japan look bad, they will come on them or come down on them like a ton of bricks.
Yeah. Notice how in America we don't even do that? We don't even do anything. The company makes fun of America? Don't care. Company promotes America? Don't care. Just leaves it be. This non-interference policy is the best thing. Just let it be, right? Let the market decide. Let the people decide. If their game is gay and cringe, well, just not gonna buy it. Just not gonna buy it. And you know what's gonna happen to it? It's not gonna do well. You don't need to worry about that because the market will correct these mistakes.
Yeah. Also, one American Kibbs. Pocket Pair is a game development studio of like 5 or 6 people.
Yeah, there's very few people that actually make fucking Pal World. It's actually impressive. It's also kind of why you have to be patient with Pal World, by the way, chat bros. Because, yeah, when I first played it, when it came out, I was like, yeah, this is really fun, but it's, you know, super early. And it's come a long way since then. I haven't played it since its launch.
There's a lot more tech stuff and things seem to run relatively well. There's a lot of customizability you can do with the difficulty settings, like resource settings, weight and stuff.
It's one of those games where the more years they put into it, the better it's going to be.
You also have to
experience.
keep in mind, right now especially, that the development is going to slow as well because the legal trouble with Nintendo.
Because of legal shit.
Oh, they've put out like 3 additional updated islands since it came out.
Jesus.
Yeah, well, they're dedicated.
Map's
yeah,
pretty
I'm saying,
fucking
like,
big.
it will be slowed by that because some of that stuff might have been stuff they already had in the pipeline before,
Mhm.
you know.
Let's see. Chatfish are mentioning the Nemesis system. Yes, the Nemesis system is an example of bad. Well, there's 2. You forgot another one. Levolution. What a dumb word.
Mini games on loading screens, whatever that was called.
Yeah. Mini games on loading screens, fucking. What the fuck? You mean to tell me that Skyrim is now illegal in Japan because it's as a mini game where you can wiggle things around and look at like objects? and
That
3D
was
models?
patented for a while.
That was patented. Oh my god, Bethesda, you're evil
That's-
too. Oh wait, I'm
I
not
talked
surprised.
about-
No.
I'm not
Dude,
surprised.
like we
No,
saw.
I
remember
talked
games
about
used
that-
to have that, like for a long
Kibis,
time.
I talked about that a
One
bit
person
ago.
at a time, please. Rapier first, and then Hands, because Rapier started.
Like games used to always have like interactive loading screens, and then suddenly they all just stopped for a long time because it got patented.
What? That's so gay that you can retroactively patent shit like that, and after so much shit's
Minigame.
out. Are you sure that's the actual reason? Now, Hands.
I said that happened. I brought that up earlier. That's what all I said.
Yeah, no.
Oh
I,
yeah,
I'm-
but you were roboting earlier too, so
He did, but yeah, no, that you brought it up too, but like in the past, Gibbs.
Yeah, no. I know about that. I'm just saying that, like, I've seen recent games do it.
Yeah,
That's
so
the
I would
weird
guess
thing.
that either the patent's not being enforced anymore, or it ended, or just people don't care.
I don't think it was ever enforced. I think they just patented it to sue them. That's what it sounds like to
Yep.
me.
yeah, it was 100% an attack on Pocket Pair.
Yep, because minigames do it. Like, for example, Battlefield, Levolution, right? The ability to destroy parts of maps. Not fucking new. Fucking games as far back as, like, the PS2, even before, like, Super Nintendo had that, where you could blow up things and it would change the map. That's not a new concept. It was a new concept for Battlefield to have large, big structures change the map and change certain things. But beyond that, it didn't really... It was kind of overhyped, is what it was. Still cool and fun, but not really... You know, I'm like, oh my god, it's like revolutionary. It's like, well, no, it isn't. We've been doing this since like the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis, where you could blow up things on levels and it would change how the map behaved. Red Faction 1 was one of the more bigger and more well-known because of the Geomod system. And even before that, there are other shooters that even have like destructible parts of their environment where you shoot stuff and it breaks a little bit and cover can be destroyed. You can't fucking patent that. That's like, oh my god, but in Japan you can. There was this one fucking RPG that patented a certain time-based combat system Robin was telling me about, and I was looking into it, and it was fucking rancid. And so an entire base combat system got patented because Final Fantasy, if I remember right. Is that the right one? You can correct me if I'm wrong, chat. And so no other games would build off that system because they couldn't. And so that sort of like thing killed innovation. And for like a good while, so games became sterile. It's like, oh my god, you can't patent like that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, you can patent your setting, your IP, but like, come on, it's like you patent the start button, press pause. All right, guess we can't pause our game anymore, chat. Sorry. Oh, patented the save system. Well, fuck you. I'll patent the load system so you can save all you want, but you'll never load. You'll never load.
Grifford says Nintendo patented the insanity system from Eternal Darkness, which is how the game would mess with you, was the insanity system.
Yeah, but other games have insanity systems. How does this one differ?
Oh, so Eternal Darkness, it wasn't like, oh, your character's going insane. It was meant to mess with you specifically. So like, it'd randomly be like, oh, controller disconnected, or like, oh, your save's been corrupted.
Oh, your volume's at 0.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it would, like when you would become insane in game, it would actually do stuff like that to make you
So
think the game's fucked up.
there's a concept called torturous interference. And it's usually dealt with like contractual obligations, but I think it needs to be applied to like law and patenting things, because basically you're just stifling technological development by doing this shit. This is why I will never buy a Switch. I will not support Nintendo.
Yeah, they're fucking rancid. Like the Switch 2 thing, oh my god. The only way that I would want to buy something like that would be like a hand-me-down, like, or something. But even then, so I don't give money to Nintendo, because like, it's just rabid. It's rabid. Like, imagine if they made Battalion Wars 4 or 3 or whatever, or fucking Pikmin 5. Like, it's like, well, fuck them. Like, I don't want to fucking pay out the fucking ass for fucking some half-baked handheld console to only have to pay, again, retarded amounts of money for a game that isn't
Hold on.
like fucking revolutionary to begin with. What?
Kids, don't you want to buy a console that has what 200 and 60 more pixels than the last one?
They marketed it as that, like it has 260 more pixels. Oh my
Well,
God,
basically, it's
that's
the
funny. That's no, I don't want to pay for
no,
that.
no. It's basically it's the 720p goes to like the 1080 or whatever the fuck. That's the difference in the screen resolution. That's the difference between the Switch and the Switch 2.
That's retarded. That's actually
And
retarded.
honestly, it's like the jump between 720 and 1080. Like, sure, you can notice it, but it's not that big a jump.
I mean,
Yeah.
when you're talking about the 720p on your handheld device, it's not as important because you can't really tell the difference
No.
because it's tiny. It's like, for example, if you play an old game on a CRT monitor that was old and by its old box like metrics, it looks fine. You know why? It's a smaller monitor.
Mm.
It's a smaller monitor. There's less
That's
pixels
why
to
on your
work with.
phone, like if you're watching YouTube, 480p is just fine. But on your actual monitor, that's atrocious.
Yep, because it's stretched, right? Because if you have a 27-inch monitor or like a 20-inch monitor or like an 18-inch monitor or that ballpark, like you're gonna be like, oh my God, it's so blurry. So stretchy. That's why when we were playing that one Game Boy game on the monitor, right, it looks so weird because they also turned on
Advanced
anti-aliasing.
Wars.
So not only was it for a tiny little pocket handheld, but then you stretch that and then you add anti-aliasing to the mix, and so it looks all fucking fuzzy looking.
Mhm.
Baffio says not only that, pixels are displayed differently. That's true. That's actually true. CRT monitors, the reason why a lot of old games look better on CRT monitors is actually because they were specifically made for those monitors, actually, when they did artistically design those things. And those sprites. Hence why sprites on HD and modern monitors actually look worse on modern monitors than they do on older monitors. A lot of old games actually lose their visual aesthetic. That's why modern sprite art is different than old sprite art. Because
Yeah,
old
so what
sprite
does
art
CRT
is
mean?
I don't know. Big tube TV. That's what it means. Heavy.
Cathode ray tube. I guess.
Yeah, tube. I know the tube was in there. Okay, that's all I remembered.
Yeah, I just want to make sure.
It's chunky, dang, chunky. I love those big CRT things, and then the little yellow, white, and red plugins for your little AV cables.
I don't, because I had to carry those fuckers around a lot. They're goddamn heavy.
They're also more dangerous for you. And toxic.
They're toxic. Amazing.
Yeah.
How? I don't
Because
know.
the metals and stuff inside of them are toxic.
Oh, as long as you don't like open it up, you're fine, right?
Yeah, that's why they don't want you to. They don't recommend you breaking open a CRT TV.
You just leave it closed and you take it into maintenance if it needs maintenance. Not that you can do that anymore. God, what cool. I want CRT TV. I just want one now. I don't have space for it. So
You
I
would
can't
need
have it.
like a specialist repair shop for stuff like that, because I don't think many places
Yep.
willingly
Specialists for
want to accept
retro
something like
things. Yep. You can. There are specialists that you can send you like your old Xbox to get it fucking soft modded or whatever, or broken, and then it can actually do more things. Like you can do those things. In Japan, you'd be taken out back and shot in the back of the head for doing that. Japan has outlandish punishments for things. Outlandish. Backwards. Savages, really. Barely even human. So what?
Oh, so they're like the French then.
This always get the little simps to squeal.
Yes, the Nintendo apologists are
Yep.
reading about how it's everyone else's fault, but Nintendo's with the price.
Yeah, pretty much.
Good old Nintendos.
Nintendards are amazing. They're indistinguishable from the usual Eastern apologists. Like, you don't understand. They have to have evil corporations. It's how they're based. And then their evil corporation gets woke and like, they just look at you. Just look at
Doesn't
you.
Japan have guilty until proven innocent system?
Oh
That's Japan.
God, they're worse than I thought. Quit it.
I do recall hearing that that's their
Guilty
system.
until proven innocent. Oh my god. All right, Choomba, you're a murderer. Put him on death row. You're gonna be executed till you're innocent.
Damn, I guess it was only a matter of time till I was caught.
Aren't they called Nintendo cucks? Oh my god. I don't blame people for liking Nintendo things, by the way. Some of their products are actually very high quality, and there's a good reason to like some of the things that they produce, actually. In fact, I do too. I just really can't stand the business practices of Nintendo. And that's why I think it's important we criticize them and not sidestep it and try to cover it up like some people I see do. Some people are like, it's not so bad. Or, yeah, they do that, but the West. And it's like, okay, but we're not talking about them. Quit obfuscating here. It's time to take the critique, and it's time to take it and don't be a little bitch about it, okay? It's easy to be a little pathetic bitch. I get that. But you need to man up and take your beatings. Whataboutism never works. Whataboutisms is like every time I criticize the East on anything, China or Japan. It's like, whataboutisms? It's just 10 times out of 10. It's like, yeah, but like EA. It's like, yeah, and EA shit too. You're like, oh.
Yeah, we're not here to defend EA.
Yeah, you're not gonna catch me going like, oh my god, EA, savior of the universe. Oh, they could be if they wanted to, but they'll never do that. Just like Nintendo could be a beacon of like prosperity in game development, but they won't.
We can see great EA again. We just gotta make them have a couple bad fiscal quarters, and then they'll suddenly release a bunch of old, really good stuff.
Yeah, just give us the only time EA ever makes things we want is usually when they see somebody else and get jealous, like with Dead Space, with Resident Evil, or when they are like, fuck, we fucked up so many times, we have to give them something good for a change.
Yeah, we gotta build up the goodwill again.
So we can fuck them again later. EA is the cyclical creature. You'll get periods of something okay from them, and then get raped over and over again, until they'll make something good again, so you'll be like, wow, you can produce something that isn't fucking shit. And then they'll produce shit again. As soon as they tricked you. Every time. Every time. Make Command & Conquer Remaster. Oh my god. Fucking awesome. Then, Command & Conquer mobile game. And then Radio Silence. And then Radio Silence. As they just sit there and stare at you. Ubisoft sucks. Ubisoft's trash. Ubisoft was always one of those developers that they had some interesting games under their umbrella, but never really developed into like a, what I would call like a beacon point, where they had like just nothing but like fucking smash hits after smash hits. EA is one of those where they had a golden age, like 2 golden ages, where everything they touched seemed to turn to gold, and then they had the inverse of that, where everything they touched seemed to turn to somehow the worst possible thing you could possibly imagine. Ugh. Ugh. I hate them. I do. Alright, let's see. Konami did this too. Yeah, Konami and Capcom, right? Konami and Capcom also have great potential to produce some really fucking solid banger games. And then just randomly out of the blue, they'll just be like, so like, we're gonna just be shit for a while now. They're the Japanese equivalent of EA, pretty much. I think Capcom's been doing pretty okay lately. Like, the new Monster Hunter is pretty fun, but, you know, we gotta wait for it to get more content, because it's basically an early access game. And the Resident Evil 4 remake was pretty fucking awesome, too, so not bad. Though I could do without the yellow piss paint stuff everywhere. They gotta stop doing that. It's a bit annoying. The biggest critique I had was that fucking stuff. Not, like, overtly, but make it more subtle or something. Or, like, have a toggle switch to turn it off. It's like, not everything has to be yellow. I get that some levels are confusing, but, like, not all things must be yellow. Yellow ladders give me PTSD. Konami is too busy making pachinko machines. They gotta stop doing that! Little shits. Like, pachinko. And they look over the shoulder.
As Chad was saying earlier, Konami effectively has ties to the Yakuza still.
Of course they're little gangsters. Now, I don't care about the... Well, gangsters are bad, but they should be making good games instead of being little weirdos. I think Konami's making the new Metal Gear game, isn't they? Yeah, they are. They're making Metal Gear 4, right? remake?
I'll look it up. Who's
Or is it
making
3?
I think it's the 3. There's the new one.
Yeah.
Snake Eater.
Well, it's not new.
$70.
Ugh. That pricing. It's just shy of being as bad as
Ooh.
Nintendo. What?
80
Ooh.
for 2 days early.
Streamer tax. I really am getting sick of that shit. That fucking
I'm so
early
happy you got
access
another
shit's
YouTuber.
so cringe.
Oh,
The worst part of being a content creator, chat, the worst fucking part of it all is having to fucking pay additional fees to get early access.
To
Oh
promote
my
their game.
fucking god. Just to play some mid-tier thing half the time is what that is. It's like, because if you don't do it as a streamer, good fucking luck getting new fishies, because you're not gonna. Because you'll miss the wave. Piece of shit companies that do that. No
Oh, you know what,
fucking
Gibbs,
early
you're right.
access shit.
You missed the wave on Assassin's Creed. We need to make sure you play it.
Oh, don't worry. I'll let that wave sail on by.
but Kibbs, if you buy the streamer tax version, you'll get access to something amazing from Metal Gear Solid 3. The sneaking DLC pack.
I don't think I care.
I posted it in chat.
Oh my god.
Beautiful.
I don't want to pay $10 for that. That should be in the base game. Like, I would buy a supporter pack if the game was like $40, and then be like, okay, you can buy a supporter pack and it adds like a skin and a gun. Here you go. Like, then I'll buy it, right? Because like that's what I did. That's unironically what I did for Helldivers 2, by the way. I bought Helldivers 2, played it, and was like, this is pretty fun. And then upgraded my game to the support edition because I wanted to support the game because I liked it so much. It added virtually nothing of value. It added an awful helmet, a gun I never use, and an arcade machine inside my ship I never touch. Never touch.
You don't touch arcade machine, Kibbs. How are you supposed to get better at calling in stratagems?
Because I'm too busy
Boog
fighting wars.
has been a member for 47 months. That's good
Holy
thing
shit.
chat gets early access to you every stream, Kibbs, and referred gifts of membership.
My little Mexican fish. Where's your Mexican fish profile? I don't like my boog without his fish. Referred gifts a membership. Thank you for the gifted membership. They turn main guy into scaly. Yeah, there's a crocodile suit. I do like the Predator one. It feels like it's Predator inspired, the naked woodland one. Though I don't like how they call it naked, because now I feel uncomfortable with liking that one.
Kibbs likes the.
I don't
naked
like
one,
it
you heard
anymore.
here.
I don't like it anymore. I feel uncomfortable when liking that. Can I just be
I like
cool?
the frog mask.
I hate it.
You like the frog mask?
It adds nothing.
I think it's isn't it an allegory to the cuck frog chair thing?
What?
No idea. That sounds like a reach.
Outreach. Little fucking Bucky with his little squirrel paws. Like, wow.
Chat will know what I'm referring to. It's kind of a meme.
Sweaty oil snake. But why?
What?
Explain.
What?
Explain the meme.
I mean, why? It's just a cuck chair shaped like a frog.
Never heard that.
Me neither. Where do you get that shit, man? Where do you get that?
I have a Zoomer in my life, kids.
Oh my fucking god, that's where you get that shit. That makes so much sense. I feel like this is something Reggie would know.
Hold on. Boog says, I thought it was bike cuck, not frog cuck.
Boog, you're a boomer. You wouldn't understand. Because apparently
Mythic says
neither
the
do
frog
I.
is a collectible you have to shoot in the OGM GS3. So it was something you could get in the original game, and now it's just a DLC you have to pay for.
That's not what he said. The frog is a collectible you have to shoot in the OGM MGS3.
So not a mask, but a frog.
Yeah. Notice how you changed that. Choomba. Choomba bad. Choomba lied. Now, here's the real question. Could you get the mask if you shoot it? Is there a mask in the original MGS3 that you could get? Because then Choomba not bad. But Choomba
I
assumed.
mean, I did make an assumption.
You made an
That
assumption.
is true.
And only I can do that and be wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
I hate
But what about
cow.
Draconis kids?
No, he can't do anything. He's not allowed to breathe either. He's not allowed to...
Well, while waiting on Mythic to confirm or deny.
Mythic's typing slowly with his little British
Dead Glory
fingers.
says Artemis is correct. Always correct. I am. Hey, Kibbs, you want to see me abuse that statement?
Do I want to see you abuse that statement? You're always
Yeah,
correct?
Yeah.
Well, we know that's false because you've lied before.
No, lying doesn't mean you're wrong.
It does mean you're wrong. You
it doesn't.
lied. Just like you lied about last night. You lied, and I knew you were lying. I was like, are
What
you
did
gonna
I
leave?
specifically lie about?
I was like, are you going to leave
That
before
you
the
weren't
movie's
gonna
over?
disappear.
Yeah, the movie. And you're like, no, I'm not. And then you did.
Hold on. No, you said
Okay.
there was the reasoning for why I did something because I was going to leave.
See, and I knew that's why you didn't want to watch Battleship instead. Because you didn't have any care about the other one. That's why I kept trying to talk to you during that other movie
Both
to keep you
Mythic
engaged.
and India say hitting all the frogs gives a 100% stealth camo suit, or the
But
stealth
does
camo
it give
frog
you
suits.
a frog mask?
It does not. They're not saying the frog mask.
So then
I
you're
was
wrong, and now you must grovel and beg for their
Wow.
forgiveness. Beg!
Good. Rapier gets
Look at,
fucked.
look at Kibbs with his shit-eating grin.
I love it when I'm not wrong. I love it when I'm not.
It happens so
It
rarely.
feels so good. I can be so arrogant and cocky and be right. And then what are you gonna
and
do?
have it show up on screen.
Oh, that's right. You can see. I was like, what are you talking about? What are you talking- Yeah, I guess it does track that, doesn't it? All right, so let's see. Let's see. Sturha is a fanboy. Yeah, true. Oh my god, yeah, bros. Okay.
Wow, Indio takes all of his thumbnails away from him.
Wow, rude. Now, the next thing we need to talk about. So, we've talked briefly about Nintendo. We've talked briefly about. Oh my god.
Devil May Cry.
Devil May Cry. And now it's
Yeah.
time to talk about what Night Dive Studio is doing. Because they're being little weasels again, chat.
Weasels.
They just open it again. I accidentally closed the article because I always do that.
You did, loser.
There we go. All right. Nice, awful article that has a white backdrop, so it hurts my fucking eyes. Let's see. So Night Dive Studios wants to start remastering PS3 and Xbox 360 games. The studio has remastered games like System Shock 2 and Quake. Night Dive Studios has a great deal of experience remastering. Wait, hold on. Did my brain just forget something, or like, am I just retarded? Or did the article person just make me doubt myself? Nope, I'm good. I'm good. Okay, they just didn't add that name. So yes, they remastered the remastering System Shock 2. They remade System Shock 1, and really good. And they remastered Quake as well, and they did a really good job with that. And they remastered all the Turok games on Steam, and they did a pretty good job with that as well.
Not all.
Well, they remastered 3 of them, I believe. But they've been basically talking about the Stephen Kick guy's been basically talking about like, oh, you know, he's kind of interested in remastering more. What this could mean is forgotten gems like Turok 360, games that were released in very weird points in history where they were surrounded by massive titles like Saints Row 2 and the likes, where they just got eclipsed and then basically left behind. So we might see some games that got left behind, maybe like that, maybe like Time Shift getting remasters from the PS3 and Xbox 360 era, and even with Sony opening up to the PS or the PC market now, might even see things like Resistance or perhaps even Killzone remastered under their umbrella. Which, let's be fucking real, chat bros, that'd be pretty fucking sweet. Imagine Turok 360 or Time Shift or fucking Killzone. These games that we never really got on PC, even though we did get Time Shift, but it doesn't really work. But they could be remastered so that they actually function. That would be great. Not to mention, I think Night Dive Studios really is just doing a good job of uplifting titles and making them functional. They're basically what I wish Asper would be like. Competent, more reliably. Asper does an okay job on occasion, but they feel kind of like they have a tendency to fuck up a little bit too much, which is kind of annoying. To be fair, at least they do continue to patch the things they fuck up, but still, it's one of those things where it shouldn't happen to begin with. But yeah, so Night Dive Studios, we might see some things re-released, which might be good. 2008 was on PC and it was trash. Oh my god. I wouldn't be surprised. PC porting in the 2000s was very, very, very bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Night Dive Studios chat. We can look forward to potentially some forgotten gems, finally, after so many years, seeing their way to PC. Also, Chabros, I sadly have no news. I did check, but still no news on the Gears of War collection thing that they talked about. Or that was kind of leaked a while back ago. Still no news, so we're going to have to wait and be
Where did you
patient.
check?
Google.
Okay, well that's not gonna help.
Well,
It's
I just
Google.
went to other forums and stuff and was reading on it. Why did you find anything?
All the initial leaks were from basically Mexican outlets, like outlets
Yeah.
in Mexico.
I mean, nothing new.
Well, I'm just asking if Google might have just showed you the English stuff.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. But we already talked about this. What are you talking about? Chumba.
I'm gonna check. I'm
Chumba.
gonna check if there's any.
Ah! Jeff is just staring there, staring at him, staring at hands. Whoa. Give them decades so they don't get hijacked. Honestly, if they just remaster, it's fine. Okay, so a little bit real quickly about Stephen Kick. Stephen Kick has a little bit of what we call TDS, just a pinch, just a little pinch. Okay, he's just a little bit venting about what happened during the elections because he's a little bit of a baby. But to his credit, he kept the politics stuff out of all the stuff he's worked on. So separate the art from the artists. That stops happening when the artist starts putting it into the art, obviously. But it's worth noting so that do have a little bit of skepticism because Night Dive Studios has done a good job so far with all the stuff they've touched, but there's some worrying things. And that's why I wanted to inform you, chat, because I think an informed audience is a smart audience. Now, let us see. I think that's all the big video game news I have, sadly. Is everybody...
Yeah, what about the E-Day, Kibbs?
E-Day? Nothing new on E-Day. Honestly, it's more speculative. I mean, Gears of War E-Day is coming to PC. But, at least it better be. At least I'm 90% sure. Now I'm starting to second guess myself. Well, their policy is making stuff for PC. It's just not... Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah. Boop. Still no announcement on it. Still no new news. But honestly, as far as the Coalition goes... Now, the Coalition, by the way, is the developers behind Gears of War right now. They made Gears of War 5. They made Gears of War 4. They made Gears Tactics. And let's be real, Gears of War 4 and 5 kind of suck. They do. They're just not very good.
Mm-hmm.
Tactics was fun. I think that was honestly the only thing they made that it was like, but it gets very stale relatively quickly. Gears of War E-Day is basically a return to try to pick up where the new stuff is not working out, so they need to try E-Day. They're still making Gears of War 6 because they were mandated to by Microsoft, but maybe E-Day will be back in touch because it's not going to try this weird, like, girl boss thing that it did with the fucking other character. And it was like, oh, she's like the daughter of the Locust. And it's like, what exactly is the lore behind the Locust now? Because we've been going back and forth on this like a fucking nightmare. I think
locusts are humans that were experimented on from the emulsion.
Yep.
And then in the course of like a few decades, somehow built a massive underground empire.
That looks like it's been there for like centuries, yeah.
Yeah, centuries, millennia.
And exploded in population.
Yeah.
I found some more, potentially new info for the Gears collection.
What is it?
So, it's basically seems like it's been fully confirmed. There's going to be an announcement in June about it. and the release window is going to be between June and September, and it's coming to PC, Xbox, and PlayStation.
So June or September? Is that what you said? Between then?
June is when they apparently are planning for the announcement and like big reveal of the price and everything for it. And the release date is going to be slated between June and September.
Yeah, the reason why is because they want to build up hype for E-Day.
Yep. And then the
So-
Phoenix Collection coming with it. Or no, not with it, but coming in the same ballpark.
I don't think we have an
3-day.
official name yet. It's still just the Gears of War collection. So that's what's going to be announced in June, apparently. As well as the official release date for it.
I just like watching Phoenix and everybody else brawling it out.
It's going to be young
Also,
Phoenix
what is
before Ash.
Hans'
Oh.
choice for
Eesh.
donations? Mr. Because referred gifted a membership, and Mr. Personality donates $5. When is Kib going to have his Yandere dev moment and run with the money?
I can't. I spent it all on the development of the game.
Yeah, he can't.
The
I'm pretty
development.
sure
Said it was fine.
people, the devs,
You
the
said
other
it was
people would get
$5.
him. Yeah, $5
Chat.
from referred.
Chat, you don't understand. Kids was too fat to run.
He
Rude.
can roll.
Rude.
I in Rome Total War.
Good man.
You don't get tits that size by running around.
As in, I
Wow.
gotta record it, so you
It's
don't
his
have to
shock
edit
face.
it.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god, I hate this. Oh my god, don't comment on everything.
Genghis. Genghis donates $5. Will the Kibbs play Pal World more than
Yes.
just Pals when it comes out?
Oh no. Yes.
I figured
yes,
what
kids
he,
needs to make. He needs to play that game.
More
No,
than
no, the
just
shock
Pals
face,
when it
nice.
comes out. Oh, that, yeah.
It's the visual novel that was originally a April Fool's joke
Well,
last year.
if chat
Except it
funds
was
not so
Yeah.
much.
the joke became real. Honestly, a lot
Yeah.
of those game devs April Fool things are actually normally play tests or testing the waters, because it's a great way to test the waters
For other
without
stuff,
pissing off
yeah.
your fandom. Usually. Maybe I should try that. We're gonna release our game
Yeah.
chat this year. They
we
just
already
stare at
did
me.
try that, and it was received quite well.
They just
Yeah.
like glare at me like, you lying kid.
They loved it. They loved the new art reveal. Remember?
Yeah, no, people actually like the new art direction of our game, which is weird. It's a shame we didn't
Yeah,
actually.
there
That
you
was an
go.
April Fool's joke. It wasn't
Or
it?
was it? Bum, bum, bum.
Little fat chibis. Little
You
fat.
got a
Yusa.
Yorozua.
Yorizuya has been a member for 50 months, a loyal chatfish for a very long time. I've returned from working and awful things. The same carnies who defended Castlevania are defending the DMC Netflix. That's because they don't care about anything. They don't even like Castlevania. I've only played Castlevania 4. That's the Super Nintendo one. And I played it because I was like really interested in playing retro games, trying to discover like old games that were before my time, and so that's the one I played. That's the only one I've ever played. But the big thing is, what's interesting is that I guarantee you that these people either A, maybe did play these games briefly, but don't give a flying fuck about these settings. 9 times out of 10, the people that praise this shit don't care about any of this. Don't care about Devil May Cry. They don't care about fucking anything. They're the same people who just turn their brains off when they watch stuff. And it's okay if you just turn your brains off when you watch stuff and you don't want to think about stuff. That's fine for you. But don't get defensive when we criticize something that's bad and that isn't what we want it to be or isn't faithful. Like Rings of Power, fuck as hell isn't faithful. It's not even fun to watch, I'll tell you that much. Fucking ass. Ugh. Ugh. Halo TV show? Fucking garbage. Holy shit. I think the Halo TV show honestly made me more angry than Rings of Power. Rings of Power, you knew what they were doing. Halo TV show just felt fucking malicious in ways that I can't quite compare. Rings of Power, I don't know which is worse. It's like comparing like 2 different flavors of garbage. It's like, well, which
It's
one?
2 different turds, but this one's slightly more polished.
This one's a little warmer. It's a
They
little fresher.
prefaced Rings of
It's
Power.
a little fresher.
They prefaced Rings of Power with being it from the Silmarillion and not canon to the story.
True. The Halo TV show tried to lynch it as this is Master Chief's like beginnings as he becomes the chef, and they battle on Reach, and then they battle on Reach, and Captain Keyes dies on Reach, and there's no Pillar of Autumn, and it's actually not really about the Covenant being evil, and it's actually about humans being evil more than Covenant. And it reminds me of 343 Studios, basically their entire view on how humans are the focus on like bad guys for 9 times out of the plot, and like humans working with like Covenant units, like the Banished or whatever. Fucking hate it. I hate all of that lore. I hate all of it.
The Covenant will use women, like human women, as their leader for taking on other humans.
They would never do that.
Despite the
They
fact
would
they
never do that.
especially the prophets, incredibly xenophobic.
Well, not the prophets are xenophobic. They're afraid of the humans because the humans represent a contradiction to their entire narrative, their entire faith.
I understand that, but that's why they are so hateful towards humans, because
That's why.
cuts at the core of their entire belief.
The Shang Yun, or whatever the fuck they're called.
I hate their.
You see, I just refuse to call them that. I just
like,
call them the prophets.
Just like I hate how elites, they're Sanghelians, like they're shut the fuck. They're elites. Don't. Just they're
What
racist.
about the
all
elite
that.
sneak kids?
Gainless also has a milestone, kid.
I don't like that
the
word.
elites are the elite. Grunts are grunts. Jackals
Why
are
don't
jackals.
Why don't you like the Elixir?
It makes my nose feel like there's something in it.
I figured it out.
Booger.
Because it's too close to the Knights of Knee. That's why.
No, it's not. I feel like I gotta blow my nose every time you say it. Elixir. Blow boogers all over. Humans are always
But
the
you don't
real
have
monsters.
hold on. You
Yeah, pretty much.
you have an issue with the Elixir, but you don't have an issue with Zat Nicotel.
Zat Nicotel is based. It's got a great fucking abbreviation called a
Never
Zap.
forget, chat. If you're gonna shoot someone with a Zat Nicotel, triple tap.
Yep, so they disintegrate. That's so
No
cool,
evidence.
and they rarely do that. God, I am.
Which is great because they like bodies.
They're very merciful. I'll say that much. They're very merciful. Ah, damn, Stargate. What a great TV show. It's one of those shows where the action scenes involve a bunch of Air Force Special Forces just fucking hosing down enemy troops like they're fucking cannon fodder. Oh.
Hear me out, Kibbs.
What?
Battlefield Dev Studio
Mhm.
gets a hold of Stargate.
That would suck because anyone who plays as the Gould is just going to be miserable.
Why?
As their staff weapons shoot slow.
No, Kibbs. At that point, anyone who plays the Gould would just fucking RP. They'll scream before they go into battle.
Jaffa
Green.
Jaffa Green! Fucking Jesus.
So
No,
obviously the Jaffa would have to be slightly tanky.
So
Yeah,
to
they-
read
they-
Yinless's membership milestone, because he's been a member for 29 months.
Mhm.
Chat, we need to make Kibbs play Peter Jackson's official King Kong movie game. Also, don't forget about SF, and don't forget Bladestorm Nightmare. Hi, Kib.
Well, I'll tell you what, Yingless. Because for chatfishies who can't afford things, I'll occasionally put my Kibbs Choice donos that I get towards those things. So go ahead and put that on the list, and I'll eventually start supporting and helping it, because I know Yingless
Which
needs
one?
help.
Listed 2 games.
What? Did you say Peter Jackson's King Kong game, right?
And then he said Bladestorm Nightmare.
You should ban one of those.
Well, you could pick
To
one.
never be donated again.
Bladestorm
Damn.
Nightmare. That's like Dynasty Warriors, but 100 Years
It's-
War, if I remember.
Yes.
I'll say Peter Jackson's King Kong. I personally played that one before. I don't think it's a terrible game, but it's not like it's gonna blow your socks off type of game.
It's one of those. It's in an era where a lot of movie games are actually pretty solid. Like I don't know where.
Yeah,
I know why there are some people like, oh, movie games are like terrible. But like honestly, yes, there are some movie games that are just garbage. But there are so many good movie games that are honestly so good that they need to be talked about. Revenge of the Sith movie game. Almost all Lord of the Rings movie games are great. Like borderline, except for like I think one. Like
GoldenEye.
PSP Tactics is good. GoldenEye, yeah, like fucking A. Like movie games are great. The Jurassic Park Trespasser game isn't great, but technologically it gave us it literally created Half-Life. Like
Wasn't GoldenEye the first multiplayer FPS?
maybe. I don't know.
I don't know about
no,
the first-
no. Not
No,
possible.
it definitely wasn't.
Doom was. Doom had multiplayer.
Oh.
Alright. I meant like
Gibbs,
the one that
but-
blew up at least.
Speaking of advancements in video game industry, I think War Thunder has infantry mode now.
Warno has.
Bullshit.
Wait, what?
War Thunder.
infantry? Where's Plake, the little crybaby? He's gonna be like, "What, Chungus?" He always is rambling on about it. But they were teasing that they were adding. I didn't think it was in yet. They added infantry NPCs that you can shoot at, and they'll run around on the battlefield. I tested it in the World War I mode. It was kind of a quaint idea. It's like, wow, it feels like you're in a big battle. But there's very few of them, and they don't really do anything, and they're also not a threat. Because, you know, they got little rifles, and you got a tank.
Yeah. But guess when it was announced?
What?
It was announced 5
April
days ago.
1st.
Oh, yeah, that was for April 1st.
Yeah.
Which is April Fools.
Okay, so I was correct to call bullshit then.
Well, they do release things. There's a trailer, Kibbs.
Yeah.
There is a trailer. A very polished one. I don't doubt that they're actually going to do that because they already are. They're putting it in the
Look.
game.
You know, Watch Dogs also had a trailer, chat.
When it
Get your
comes,
fucking
when it-
facial features are so caught on the screen.
I don't know how to think about that. I don't know
Boo
what.
posted the frog chair. In
Yeah,
Yeah.
he posted that a bit ago.
The frog chair.
I only just saw it now.
Remember when we were talking about the frog picture on the Metal Gear Solid stuff?
I gotta look over on that screen to open it. Frog chair, Bickering bunch discussions. You didn't
It's
post
in the
it?
stream
No.
room.
The stream room.
Oh my god, Mexican boy. Iconic. Wait, that's real?
Yeah. It's from Animal Crossing, I think. Yeah, the frog chair.
It's terrible. I hate this.
It's also in Pal World.
What
Your
is
fucking
was a
facial
mistake.
feature.
Stop up! What does it do?
What does it do? It's just a chair.
It's
a chair.
iconic.
But for
Iconic.
some reason, people like whenever somebody references like cuck chair or whatever, sometimes it'll be the froggy chair.
It looks like a little kitty chair.
Yeah.
It's weird. What's this about the cooked frog? This is becoming a weird subject that we're fixating on, Jant. I'm just
You're
saying.
fixating on it. I was making a joke about it.
You're fixating on it. We're putting you in the chair. He's like, no. Sad and
My
uncomfortable.
cat, I don't know if my cat will sit in the chair, Gibbs.
If you sit in it, your cat will sit on you.
You is the name of my cat.
Oh my god, is he named Lord You?
No, just you.
He looks at his cat. No, he's not that cool.
No, but he probably eats better than you do sometimes.
What is that? What is that? Stop looking at the
Like when you go on,
models.
like when you go on diet. Not like when you go on diet, Skibbs. At that
Yeah,
point,
we
the
go-
cat's definitely eating better than you.
I like Gibbs' his frantic eye looking around, trying to see if the model's catching it.
It is. I know it is. Look at it.
Decompresso says
Oh.
I have a mod that
What?
puts the presso on the chair.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes, decompresso.
You know, we should actually get a list of mods for Pal World that we want to run.
That's true. We should slap that together. That way we can get a nice big list.
I also have the game now, thanks to Vulpus.
Oh, that was very kind of Vulpus to gift that to you. Very nice.
It was.
Very nice little chat fish. War Thunder's supposed to get infantry. The infantry trailer came out the day before. Yeah, they've been teasing that they were going to do infantry for a long, long time.
From my
and
understanding, ultimately what they've been wanting to do is have a mode where it's like all three game modes like together.
But
So
all
there'd
World
be
of
some
Warships.
players doing naval, some players doing air, and some players doing tanks.
Basically,
That was
War
like-
Thunder's main goal, and their logo is combined arms. It's just they've taken a long time to get to that point. Yeah.
Yeah, they've been trying to do this for a very long time.
The balancing is the part that is difficult.
Yes, it's
Yes.
like when they added planes to tanks, and people fucking hated it.
Yeah, but it took a while to figure out how to do it right, because it was like one of those things where they could just be cringe.
Or the nuke bomber.
From what I understand, it's not as big a problem as people initially thought it was going to be. It's still annoying though, because
Just
if
win the
they
game
do it
because
and they're
if you nuke
losing,
it. Yeah.
yeah, whichever side drops it just wins. It does not matter how close they are to losing.
Yep, it's a big fuck
Such a
you.
great thing.
Clutch play.
It's like getting the nuke. It's like getting the nuke at the end of a fucking
Club
capture
match.
the flag. Yeah. Great times. Gibbs. What else are we talking about?
Well, I think that's pretty much everything. The only thing I could really have to mention, the last subject really, is the System Shock remake, which I've mentioned briefly. But if you missed the previous stream, the System Shock 2 remake did get a release date for June 26, 2025. So yeah, it's going to be getting re-released, and it's going to be getting
I'm
workshop support.
Cautiously optimistic for it. We'll see.
I actually like the PS2 aesthetic they went with this. And that is PS2 graphics, like holy fuck.
Yeah, no,
I
I'm
know.
gonna say it feels appropriate, but the issue is I'm so used to. I will say this. That's the body of the mini, by the way, Kibbs, and that's an alien weapon. I don't know if I like the rumblers with the PS2 graphics, nor the Cyber Ninjas.
I think they needed to make it more the graphics more current day. To be honest.
Well,
They
they
should have gone with.
so this
That's
is
fair.
this is just a remaster. They did talk about they were thinking about doing a
An actual remake.
like this, because this is the remake for 1, by the way.
Yeah, which was great.
It's actually pretty solid.
Very neon-y.
Not only that, the fucking developers came by to watch.
Yeah, they actually hung out with us.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah, I forgot about that.
They were talking about the fucking some of the puzzles.
This fight.
Yeah, the devs are pretty chill. They stopped by and said hello when we streamed this.
Baffio says he liked the style, Gibbs.
I like the style. on the
I
first
can
one.
understand people liking that style, and I can also understand
this?
people saying
Okay,
they
so
should have updated.
all this is them trying to make sure that it looks okay. If we do a side by side, I'll do that.
Classic.
Open classic there, and then open that there. There we go. Seems a little weird with how this works. We take.
He broke it.
Well, I wanted to drag it out, but it didn't let me drag it out.
He's trying to do the split screen.
Yep, I know, but he can't do that because it's set up for that.
Yep. Oh, damn, it won't let me do it. But yeah, so this is like the original visuals. It's very dated. It's like Morrowind era. The music breaks when I do that, which is just weird.
Yes, you do. It does break. Look at his hand, Gibbs.
That's supposed to be like a boomstick attached to it.
It's a shotgun.
Did I stutter? It's a boomstick.
Yeah, and I said shotgun.
That's too much. Help. He doesn't know what a boomstick is.
Oh, I know what it is. I'm refusing to give you it.
He's
It's
not
a
refusing. He
boomstick.
fucked up and now he's doubling down.
No, it's Army of Darkness. This is my boomstick.
boomstick.
I know what it's from.
Bye.
He's doubling down. He's losing. He's taking the L and spin. So yeah, they wanted to basically preserve the art style, more or less, of the original System Shock 2, but just make it look like it's HD. Basically giving them HD models and HD texture work.
I think it's dangerous to do that. Because
Yep.
sometimes the
It might not translate. It's gonna be down to how the game feels.
Yep.
Because
Just
like,
like the
I know
footage.
there's certain units, like I said, like the Cyber Midwives, I'm not 100% sure if I like the direction they took them. And then the same thing with some of the other units. We'll see.
There we go. I just realized it was paused. It's like, you're not voting, guys.
Eggs.
I think the animations look good. I mean, they're basically in line with the original. My big concern is it going to have multiplayer, like the previous one? Because they said that.
Technically, the first one did. It's just it was not stable. I will say I don't know if I like that. The actual mouth moving. I personal preference. I don't think they should have done that.
I think they thought that everything needs to be more dynamic.
Probably.
It would be really nice if they had a toggle switch so you can switch between OG and remaster graphics.
Yeah, looking
I
at
like
that, I
games that
think
do
I like
that.
the Rumblers. I like the Rumblers better than the original.
But as long as this is more stable than the original, I'll be happy too.
I'm pretty sure you would have to fund Kibbs doing System Shock 2 multiplayer again.
You would.
Okay. What is on today's community event?
Well, chat, today
Among
we're going to
Us,
be playing
remember.
Among Us, chat. We're going to be hunting each other down and killing each other. She's like, wow!
If you're a traitor.
Remember, chat, if I'm trying to kill you, stand still. And don't tell your friends.
Mhm.
True. Chat
And tell your loved ones before you die that you're going on vacation.
I swear, every time we do that, I only get to be like the murderer once.
Yep.
It's just how it be.
Just how it be.
Yep.
And it feels like everyone gets to be like 6 times, and I'm just like, god damn.
Do we have the
Again-
mod for the Jester to be added in?
I will say, I think that's one thing
No.
about Among Us that I kind of wish they would have like a little like AI game where you can practice being the alien,
Oh yeah, I gotta add that to my
because
wish list.
there's so long between like when you actually are able to become the alien that it's just like, okay, I don't know what are good strategies to being the alien.
But yes, chat, the community event for today is Among Us, and then we have a watch-along scheduled for after stream for a movie night as well, Chatfish. Wow, you're being spoiled because we love you. Like, wow. Also, I guess in gaming news, because Among Us is actually relatively got something in development and cooking, if you're not aware, Among Us is getting a 3D rendition of the game. And to be honest, when I saw Chatfish play it with Chumba, the 3D version looks even better, because you don't get full vision. I mean, you can only see it dead ahead.
You don't get the top-down view, which means it's easier for the alien to, or sorry, imposter. Let's use proper verbiage to do shit.
So,
Yes and
yeah, it's
no,
gonna be
because
nice.
you do have longer vision looking down corridors.
Horizontally, yep. So it plays into
Sure.
that. This will
But
be really
it's harder
interesting.
to like look behind you. Like if someone's hiding around a corner and they get you, it's like, well,
Yeah,
That
it adds more blind spots actually.
It'll make it more interesting to be the murderers. So
I
it'll be
just
nice to
think
see
the vent action is going to be a lot more difficult.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh no, that's gonna work.
because you don't know if someone's popping around a corner or something.
Mm-hmm.
3D was good to play except for the chat, says Rifford.
Yes, and it was very buggy.
Mm-hmm. Well, chat. It looks like our stream didn't crash today, so I can actually raid into the next stream. Can you believe it, chat? Wow.
No.
And they look at you.
This is proof we're in a simulation.
The little Pika fish. Pika fish.
Such a fucking weird theory.
I don't know, raid.
We're
That's
all
good.
just part of a simulation.
That's dumb. That's almost as dumb as Elder
I
Scrolls lore
can't-
about the
thing
dream.
is,
Arc.
I can't disprove. No, hold on.
That's dumb.
I will. I will
That's
defend
dumb.
Elder Scrolls being dumber. Elder Scrolls is a fucking dream.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's dumb. I said they're both dumb.
Yeah, but I said Elder Scrolls is dumber.
Yeah, they're both dumb. You're dumb.
No, but one's dumber.
Yeah, I don't care. Dumb.
Philistine.
Jay was like, wow, he was so fucking smart.
That's
Nice
exactly what people
MRT.
think, Hibbs.
No, I do not accept sponsorships from people I don't think like I would be if I accepted a sponsorship from Raid Shadow Legends chat, that'd be me lying to you. Because when I got a sponsorship offer, I checked out the game and I rejected the sponsorship because I can't recommend it because it's trash. It's actually fucking garbage. And anyone who tells you otherwise is fucking lying to you. It's
Wow, Kibbs.
fucking garbage. You can't recommend that game with a straight face. No.
Okay,
It's
I will-
lying.
I'm gonna let all my friends know that their sponsorships with the game are trash.
Yeah, they are. They're lying to their audience for money. It's true.
Or they have actually shit tastes. One of the two.
No.
It's most likely lying to the audience.
They're lying to their audience for
probably.
money. When you cross that bridge, when you start taking sponsorships from people and start lying to your audience like that, you're probably doing far worse things. It's the slippery slope. That's why I can't recommend games I don't like. That's why Ubisoft, when they begged me to change my review, I said no. I said no. Oh, sorry, Toy Soldiers War Chest. You had to burn for me to rise. Like, ah! Elder Scrolls lore was done with lots of drugs. Yeah, and it shows. Now, chat bros, we're going to get ready for some glorious friendly murdering. Okay? If you would like to play, you can pop in a kip-sized bucket. For those who don't follow us into the next stream, have yourself a splendid day. As always, Chatfish. And remember to keep on swimming, because you little fishes are quite small, and your little bodies will get carried away in the current. Very dangerous. For those... Yeah, I already said that. Okay, brain relapsing. I looked at something and got distracted. It happens. We'll see you in the next stream, chat. The next stream will be starting in approximately 10 to 15 minutes. So get ready and be in the kip-sized bucket if you'd like to play. Goodbye, little Chatfish. See you later.